Hi, hello. We're back to a normal episode of whatever the fuck this is. Dorian, how are you?
I'm doing good. Just actually just hot off of a Returnal run where I set my high score, so that was pretty cool. Barely, but I did. So forward progress is forward progress.
Now the question is high score. Now, have you finally beaten the other people on the leaderboard or no?
Oh, I know. No, those guys are insane, man. I don't think I'll ever catch your score. I'm not good enough. I don't know how they're cracking 10 million, but I got a little bit further in the 6 million category. It gets to a point where it's so hard. Like you start dropping multiple of those like mini bosses on you, and once you get like three of them roaming around, it's like, well, fucking kill me.
Well, you know what? Have you ever considered maybe sending Jim Ryan a check so he can help you just get to the top?
I mean, I already do that, but it's for other services, so I don't think that's included in it. And I don't really want to up my rate further, so yeah.
Fair enough. I mean, it might be like a GTA Plus thing where if you were to pay Jim Ryan, he just helps you in every single PlayStation exclusive ever.
Oh, that would
Um,
be really cool. I wish I could get a deal like that. Maybe I should renegotiate my contract with Jim, I think.
no, that's the thing. That's going to be part of the Spartacus Platinum plan.
Oh, great. Okay, yeah, I'll be signing up for that then. Perfect.
Okay. You know what? I know I said whatever the fuck this is, but I feel like I should at least say the name. So, hi, Passive Pixels. Yeah, whatever. You know what this is, and if you don't, well, you're probably better off. Um, okay. I guess I want to mention this as well because why not? We have a Discord and we've started a movie club thing. There's a lot of rules, so to make sure that no one chooses a shitty movie. So if you want to join it, cool. Just let me know. I'm assuming that anyone who's listening to this still knows how to contact me one way or another. Like whatever. So yeah, I guess that's the one ad out of the way. Let's go ahead and go to our lists. My list is anemic compared to yours, but hey, that means that we'll not hit 3 hours, right? Right? Ugh. Okay, my list: Elden Ring, Succession season 3. Ah, shit, I didn't finish Succession season 3. God damn it, I had literally one episode left. Y tu mama tambien, The Handmaiden, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Man on Fire, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Rock Band 4, and Ghostwire Tokyo. Dorian, I'm gonna take a little small nap while you give me your list.
Yeah, you should. This is the worst one yet. So here we go. Returnal, Cyberpunk 2077, Trails in the Sky, the third chapter, Ozark season 4, Mare of Easttown, Twin Peaks, Eraserhead, La La Land, 2001: A Space Odyssey, The Batman, West Side Story, A Ghost Story, Mank, Requiem for a Dream, Paddington, Licorice Pizza, The Seventh Seal, The Sword and the Sorcerer, Scenes from a Marriage, Shin Godzilla, Fresh, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, X, Windfall, Repulsion, Sorry to Bother You, The Game, The Handmaiden, The Lost City, Following, The Florida Project, and The Godfather 1 and 2.
I love that we both have two movies that have one word the same across both their titles, and yet they're completely different movies. You have West Side Story and you have A Ghost Story,
Yeah,
and then I have Portrait of a Lady on Fire and Man on Fire. That
yeah, I noticed that. I was saying I wish I watched more story ones, and you should have watched like more fire ones. But what can you do?
listen, the movies I watch are all fucking fire, okay? So that
Yeah,
counts.
that's true. That's true.
Uh, all right, because there's going to be a huge break of you just babbling on, I'm going to kick this off at least with the beginning of the list. We've got Elden Ring.
Ah,
Now,
yes, yes. You are
Elden
Elden
Ring.
King.
I am Elden Lord, sir. Sir, I will not have my title besmirched and or aggrandized. I beat Elden Ring. However, I'm not done yet because there's just one entire area that I thought was not optional. But by the time I beat the final boss, I was like, oh, I guess it was optional. Well, I'll still go back to that because I kind of want the platinum in this game. It's achievable. I'm going to do it. So, Elden Ring. The game is fucking fantastic. The more time that I spend away from it, the more I just want to go back to it. All of the boss fights, well, maybe the last boss fight felt like if you didn't have a summon, that's going to be really painful to do. I'm pretty sure there are insane people who can figure out how to do it. I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm already insane enough when it comes to Returnal about saying that I don't want to play defense at all and just going full offense. So, maybe that final boss just isn't meant for me. But either way, all of Elden Ring has been super fun, even when I've been throwing myself at the same brick wall because a boss is just like, you are 10 levels below. Why are you trying to kill me? And I just go, shut up. and die. So Elden Ring has been an incredible time being able to explore in that open world and just being able to see something off in the distance and go, yeah, that's where I want to go. And usually Miyazaki just going, yeah, you know what? I'm gonna reward you for finding this place, and then give me some weapon that I'm probably never gonna use, but at least there was a boss fight that was in front of that weapon that made it worth it. I think this game might be one of my favorites ever. So far, I want to say I put it probably seventh favorite game of all time. I think it knocked down Red Dead 2. I really like Red Dead 2, but something about me losing my mind over Radon might outweigh some of the things in Red Dead 2. So that's the math that I've done for that. Um, what else? First, I started the entire game with just one katana, but by the time that I got around the final, like, five bosses or so, that's the thing. The final five bosses feel like you can get through them really quickly. I mean, not like they are easy, more like they are in quick succession enough that it feels like the ending wraps up really quickly, where it's like, oh man, I'm fighting a whole bunch of these main bosses almost back to back to back. And some of those bosses pushed me to have a second katana. So I started the game with one katana. I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll just single wield. But by the time I got to the end, I was just dual wielding katanas and just smashing them, and then calling in a mimic tier and using four swords and just demolishing them. It was fucking so much fun. And by the way, the mimic tiers, is it cheating? I don't care. They shouldn't have made it so fun. If there are cheats where it's just like, this is just the boring way of running away and dropping arrows on them, I don't care. If that's the kind of cheating that you want, that's boring. Give me cheating where I can just summon the realest bitch I know, myself, to help me. It's the greatest thing ever put into a video game. Imagine if right after in the water temple of Ocarina of Time, after you finish beating Shadow Link, suddenly you can summon Shadow Link to fight with you. The fucking greatest thing quite ever put into a video game. I love it. Anything else I want to say about Elden Ring? Um, that's the thing. I feel like I could complain about like how vague everything is, but also I don't know how much of that is just baked into the From Software cake of like literally the game just goes, "Hey, here you go, bye bye, see you later." And honestly, I don't care. Like I don't care that it's vague or not because we have the internet. We can always look it up, and that's okay to me. And I still would prefer this than the game just dropping hints constantly, like, "Oh, there's Nefeli over there. I should give her this poison. Oh, look, it's the Feli. I should give her this poison." Yes, I am smacking Horizon because it felt good. But yeah, Elden Ring, that combat is so good. I want to go back to it, but I'm scared that with the amount of time that I spent away from it, I am now itching to where if I were to jump right back in, I would become as hopelessly addicted as I was before I beat the final boss. But Elden Ring, it will be back. I will get that platinum because it's totally achievable. I already bought Dark Souls 3, so that's gonna happen at some point. But like, I spent a lot of time in Elden Ring. I kind of don't want him to let Miyazaki ruin my life back to back. So, I mean, to be fair, with something in this list later on, it's probably proof why he won't take over my life back to back again. But either way, Elden Ring, phenomenal time. I would probably say my favorite boss, even after all of it, would still probably be the Mimic Tier boss because I'm a sucker for that shit. And besides, like I was, it was kind of difficult for me because like my character has some fucking weapons on him, so um, yeah, that was a little bit of a challenge. So. Dorian, give me anything about Elden Ring. You want to smack it down, or you want to talk about Demon Souls, or you want to just move on?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have much to say, unfortunately. The more I've thought about it, the more it just I don't think it's for me. Obviously,
Correct.
I don't think I don't know. It might be the type of thing where one day once all the hype dies down, I try it out and I
Mm,
just shit on it because I didn't
you
like
will.
it. But I almost feel like I've said before, I kind of like don't want this to become another Breath of the Wild for me, where I actually played that game and fucking hated it. So at least now that I've never played Elden Ring, so I have nothing against it. I don't need to shit talk it. I don't need to say, man, fuck this game until once I play it though, and I'm like, oh, this actually isn't for me. I don't like it. Then I got to shit on it. So I don't know. I think for now I'll just never play it. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad everyone has having fun with it. I haven't seen a lot of negative comments on it. It seems mostly overwhelmingly positive. So yeah, that's awesome, and it'll be interesting to see what happens with the rest of the year because it seems like it's the de facto game of the year now. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, oh yeah, I already put it as my game of the year. It's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure like I can call it for this year. There's no way that Ghostwire Tokyo or something like that, or love you Kirby, totally bought you Kirby. No idea when I'm gonna play you Kirby because I still have Mario 3D World to get to, but I feel safe just putting this as like, yeah, this is probably gonna be my game of the year. Elden Ring, very good. The score I'm gonna give this is dual wielding katanas and then doing a running start. So as soon as you do a jump attack, it hits them with both swords for about 600 to 700 damage out of 10.
Nice. I'm gonna give it a Breath of the Wild, but a timeline where I never played it, and I don't need to bitch about it. Instead, out of 10.
The Paragon route is what you're doing.
Yes. Yes. The
Yeah.
Paragon. Correct.
I, on the other hand, will be thinking about a Renegade route for Horizon 2. Okay, your turn.
All right. So okay, should I just start knocking shit out then, or do you want to go back and forth still for a bit?
Go ahead and run through a whole bunch of stuff, and then I will see whenever it feels like, yeah, might be time for me to talk about something.
All right, fair, fair, fair. Let me get my games out of the way then. I've got three of them. So we'll start with Cyberpunk 2077. Realistically, I only played like an hour of it. I'm going to be honest with you. Look, I'm not one of those kind of people that like, oh, I walk into the open world and icons pop up everywhere. Fuck this game. I don't
That's
mind
me.
that. No, that's you. I don't mind that. However, after having just done that with Horizon, like just finished that, I was not in the mood for that again. And basically, I kind of finished the prologue tutorial part of Cyberpunk. Game's great. It looks great. It looks gorgeous, but it wasn't really clicking with me. And then I walked out into the open world and I see all the icons. I'm like, okay, I don't want to do this right now. And if I forced myself to play it, I would have had a less enjoyable experience with it. So I am technically, I guess, dropping it, but not forever. I can tell it's a good game. I will get back to it. I enjoyed what I played of it so far. So yeah, that's it for Cyberpunk. Any
Uh,
comments?
Shane, you son of a bitch. He sent me Cyberpunk, but he also sent me a sealed copy of not only just Horizon 1, but Horizon Greatest Hits Edition, Complete Edition, and also along with a DVD of a wrong region for the Lion King remake that I can't even watch if I wanted to because of the region locking, along with Cyberpunk. And I will get to this game eventually, but it's just going to sit there for a while because goddamn, the stack of games is getting terrible. Like it's taller than the movies stack now that I have, and that's kind of a dangerous place to be. Also, doesn't help that I bought Ghostwire Tokyo, and I think I may end up keeping it. So that's not Cyberpunk. No idea when I'm getting to it out of 10.
Yeah, it's I'll get back to it out of 10. And I'm just gonna like I mean, we'll see when you get to it, but I'm gonna be surprised if you end up jiving with that one. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. But from your open world tastes, that one's gonna surprise me if you like it. But I mean, I guess we'll see.
Here's the
Crazier
thing though,
things.
if the world gets me, that's probably gonna get
That's
me.
that's true. I guess if the world's interesting enough, then that can overcome a lot of it. So fair
I
enough.
mean, like, remember, I still like Ghost. It's not the format itself, it's literally if
Sure.
you do nothing along with the format.
True. Although I don't remember Ghost of Tsushima ever being icon overload. Maybe it was, but I don't remember ever being like
No, actually, no, you're
slapped
right,
with
you're
icons
right.
everywhere. Yeah, like they were a lot more subtle with it. There wasn't nearly as many. So from what I remember, anyways. Okay, Trails in the Sky, third chapter. So yeah, so
Oh god, I
like
forgot.
I don't understand. I was just sitting there. I'd finished Cyberpunk, and I was like having like an existential. I can't talk. Fuck it.
Existential.
Thank you. I was having that. I was having that for a gamer crisis. I'm like, man, maybe I just don't like video games anymore. Maybe I'm
Good,
done. So I
good.
decided to fire up Trails in the Sky, the third chapter, and no, unsurprisingly, I'm actually really having a good time with
Son of a
that.
bitch.
It's I'm about halfway through right now, so I'm not going to spend too much time on it. I mean, with all the Trails games, they're all kind of blend together, and it's the same talking points in most of them. I will say this one's a little bit interesting because it feels more like an epilogue. Like it's basically like the second one
Again.
kind of wrapped up the story and finished the game, and this one's just like, okay, what can we do with these characters now to give them some closure? And it's just kind of giving them all closures. Like the game is basically one giant dungeon crawler. Like it's the same area for the entire game. It looks different with like different dungeons and stuff like that, but they mix it up and they have these little doors you can go into that give you side quests and like but they're actual like character building stuff, which I really dig. So yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it so far. Like I said, halfway through, so I'll probably play more of that actually when we're done here after some cinema, of course. And yeah, no, I like it.
I am a hater, and I hope that you don't enjoy the game. Just something about hearing you say that, like, the fact that it's doing the prologue thing again, it's like, oh my god, I really hate that. Straw had, however long ago we had him for the 13 Sentinels episode, which Jesus Christ. Straw Hat, big fan of Trails, and didn't he mention that all the odd games are basically set up and then the sequels are where actually stuff happens?
Correct, correct. This that's not wrong, but this one's actually not even really setting up anything because it's just bookmarking it. So I mean, it's the same kind of thing, I guess. But yeah, Sky One is setting things up. Cold Steel 1 was setting things up. Apparently, Cold Steel 3 reboots and set things up. And I don't know about the other ones. So
You remember early on in the Game of Thrones run when it became a meme of people just being like, "Where are the dragons?" And people are just like, "The dragons are coming. I swear, the dragons
yeah,
are coming."
I remember that.
That just feels like Trails.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, like I said, there's no chance in hell you would like these games.
Oh
Like,
god, no. That's why I'm being extra violent to them.
I would bet you going back to Horizon 2 and enjoying that before I would bet on you enjoying ever enjoying Trails. It's just never happening.
I'm going to give this every single day we stray further from God's light out of 10.
No score yet. Still halfway through, but enjoying it so far. Out of 10.
Yeah, keep on going.
All right, last game, Returnal. So yes, this one. So I downloaded the new update for it, which gives you. It's basically, I think it's called the Ascension update, and it does a couple things. First of all, it lets you do co-op, which is cool. So you can co-op the game now with another person. And they did adjust the difficulty of it, which is cool. So it's not like you can just rip through it. So that's neat. Haven't tried that yet. Hopefully, going to do it with you actually soon, and Shane. But that'll be one day. But there's a new tower mode, which is basically called the tower. I want to say it's the Tower of Syphilis, but that's not correct. Uh,
Sisyphus.
yeah, well, let's not talk about syphilis.
Okay, on the other hand, syphilis is probably you just constantly going back to the same bitch that got you infected.
Yeah, true, true. There's some meta there. Excuse me. But yeah, so it's a new tower mode where it's basically endless. It's their arcade mode that you just climb the tower and try to get the highest score as possible. There's some story bits mixed in there, which actually I'm almost done. The story parts I've just been doing runs, so I haven't gone back and finished the story part. But there is one more thing I need to see, so I'll probably do that soon. But yeah, it's really addicting. I mean, it's the gameplay loop of Returnal that you love, and you're basically. I like this because it really pushes you to go fast. And like basically, you can clear a room, and there'll be items around there and health, and then you need to make the decision because your multiplier is going to drop fast. So you basically need to make the decision: do I really need to go get that health? Do I really need to go get that item, or do I want to just book it to the next floor? And I like that because it makes you kind of make a decision sometimes. Sometimes there'll be new guns even. And like, oh fuck, I don't like the gun I have. Now I'd like to go check that out. But if I do, I'm gonna lose at least 1 to 2 points off my multiplier. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but the shit stacks, man. And like once you start getting up to the higher levels, it's really hard to maintain that multiplier. So you gotta kind of think about that early. But yeah, it's great. It's fun. It's addicting. I'm terrible at it, but I'm having a great time with it. The only thing I don't like is the RNG. Like, I don't mind RNG. I understand Returnal's an RNG based game, but basically, after you beat the boss on every floor, you get a mandatory malfunction. Like, you can't avoid it. So it's a mandatory malfunction. And if you don't know Returnal, a malfunction is basically when you have something negative working against you. Usually in the game, when you get one, you can like do some requirements and clear it out. But with this one, no, there's just no chance. You can't do any of that. You're stuck with it. And one of them is such fucking bullshit. It's basically called the hostiles will counter on hit. And basically, when you shoot an enemy, it'll shoot an orb back at you, which it doesn't sound very hard. But if you have an automatic gun, which are like my favorite guns in the game, like the Hollow Seeker or the Carbine, and you're just rattling off shots at it, and they rattle the shots right back off you, it basically ends the run. And it's bullshit. So if I get that, it's like, okay, I might as well reset the run. Now I'm fucked. And I hate it. Like I hate it. Like I don't mind RNG. Like there's even bits where you have to pick a parasite between two and take the negative effect with it. I don't even mind that because at least there's some choice there and you can kind of plan around it. But this is just bullshit. There's no way to get rid of it. So I don't know. I mean, I guess they do that to make it harder because people are just already killing it and getting amazing scores. But man, that one's some bullshit. And I would like to see that removed. Otherwise, really enjoying it.
Here's the thing. I love the idea of Returnal just constantly throwing dirt in your eye because, well, I did just finish Elden Ring, so that sounds fucking hilarious. That the game just going, what if you just stopped right now and then just ruin everything? I kind of hate the fact that Elden Ring is now put in my brain that sometimes I like it when games troll you. I wanted to play this, but I don't remember what stopped me. I think it's because I finished Elden Ring. I was like, yeah, let's put a little bit of time between me and another game. It seems that that was probably a lie because Ghostwire Tokyo is at the end of the list. But oh well. I want to play Returnal. We still really do need a co-op. The problem is that that's another thing where I just feels like that's going to take a lot out of me, and if I'm going to do that, I should go back to Elden Ring. And my brain, I just don't think is ready for the for the get good mentality that's going to be needed there. But I swear, I still want to do it this. So Returnal, eternally installed on my PS5 out of 10.
Yeah, it's still my game of the year from last year. It's still a really hard 9 out of 10. I love this game. It's one of my favorite games of all time now. At this point, definitely top 20. So I love this game, the aesthetic of it, obviously, and everything. So I will continue to play until I rage quit. I've already rage quit and uninstalled it once. So let's see how many times we go for this time.
I want you to keep a lifetime count of how many times you angrily uninstall Returnal. That's two now, right?
Well, this is the fourth. No, this is the fourth.
Oh.
So yeah, we'll like fourth overall, like from playing through the story too. So
Oh, I love it. No, but like angry uninstall, not just uninstall, right?
oh no, they're all angry, and there's no happy uninstall on that one. It's a fuck you. I'll never play this trash again. Take the disc out, throw it in the corner, and then 2 hours later regret and put the disc back in and wait for it to install.
Shit, now I gotta wait 2 hours for this disc to install.
Yeah, that's all the games. So should I just move on, or do you want to talk about any of
Yes,
your games?
move on.
Yeah.
I
All
agree.
right.
But
Cool.
you know what?
We'll
Fine.
go.
No. I'll just get one easy out of the way. Okay.
Sure. Sure.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So you know what? Screw it. I'll just bundle both of these together. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and Rock Band 4, since I had friends over, and then that's what we both played. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. I downloaded the 8 new tracks. I didn't knew it was 8. I thought it was just 4, and I was like, oh, cool. That's a nicer price. Thank you, Nintendo. $25, 48 tracks. Sick. The tracks are good. Uh, I was very happy with them. I think there's actually a new one that got snuck in there that isn't just a remake of one of the other tracks, and that new track was fucking dope. It was you're driving on top of like very old Japanese architecture buildings. I was like, oh fuck, this is actually really cool. All the other ones, there's one that's in Paris that's just really windy roads and a whole bunch of roundabouts, and playing that on 1/4 of a screen doesn't exactly help when you don't know the map yet. So it's like, ah, shit, where am I going? Oh, I'm actually turning in the wrong direction. Either way, I'm happy to have more Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So even just for $25 for these 8 tracks, I'm already happy. And we've got, what, 40 more? I can't wait. This is awesome. Getting that out of the way, Rock Band 4. I think the last time I had this was like the beginning of last year. So, hey, maybe the band just gets together once a year. Either way, Rock Band 4, holy shit, still very fun. My microphone died. So I was thinking, wow, I may have to blame my niece and nephew that are always rummaging through my closet. Maybe they broke the mic. But honestly, I'm glad that they killed the mic instead of the drum kit, the guitars, or the guitar, or things that, if were to break, would be a lot harder to find. At least the microphone, I can just buy that for another $10. Then I broke and then spent way too much money on DLC songs on Rock Band, because that's just what happens. You play Rock Band and you go, you know what, I kind of want to see what they have. And then you look through and it's like, wait a minute, how the hell did I not have this? How the hell did I not have I Want to Break Free by Queen? What is wrong with me? And then you buy and then just realize, well, wow. I got a lot of alerts on my phone saying that my Amex was used a lot. Shit, that's me. I know who that was. That was me that did that. So yeah, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, Rock Band 4, fun games. We should have played Mario Party as well, so I could have kicked them out. And go ahead, philosophize as you'd like about either of these games.
Yeah, so I love Mario Kart. I actually don't own it right now, but I did when I first had my Switch. I'm a
Hmm.
bit salty about the new tracks, though. I want them to make a new one, man. I get it, it's cool, whatever. Pay your $25, your DLC, get your 48 new fucking tracks. But 48
48.
new tracks, that means we're not getting a new fucking Mario Kart game anytime soon. So,
That's okay.
bit
This
salty,
game's fun.
but that's cool.
Yeah, game is fun. We're all
Yeah, game
right.
is fun though. Game is fun. Yeah, I love it. It's my okay. I mean, here's the hot take. I still like the Wii U version better. The reason
You're
being
the
is because
worst.
the reason being is I don't like the two items. The two items throws things off to me, and it's not. It ruins the balance sometimes. But I think
It's
otherwise,
a Nintendo game. The balance does not exist here unless it's
I
Smash.
mean, I mean, fair. You got your blue shells, but anyways, yeah, great stuff. I like Mario Kart. Rock Band, on the other hand, yeah, I love Rock Band too. We were just talking about that yesterday. I have over like 1,000 songs on that fucking piece of shit. So God knows how much money I've spent on that. And yeah, it's great. I love Rock Band. I have the drums too. I have all the shit too: the drums, the guitar, the microphone. It's so long since I've dragged that out. And yeah, I would love to play it again soon. Just the time and the effort to get everything out and everything like that. I used to be able to
Yes.
drum on expert, so I kind of want to just like one of my favorite songs to drum was "The Perfect Drug," which is like insane on expert. I love that song. It's so hard, and I used to be able to do it really well, but I'm so rusty now. Like there's zero chance I'd be able to do it. But yeah, I'd like to get back into the hang of things. So fun game.
God, dude, I actually hurt myself playing Rock Band 4. That's the thing. So, the drum kit that I have, right? I have the drums, I have the kickstand, but I don't have the legs because, look, it was 2015. I was scrambling really hard to find the leftover instruments that no one was using. And thankfully, one friend was like, yeah, I have the drum kit. That's all I have. And they just said, here's the drum kit. And I went, okay, fine. I'm going to go and have to scavenge everything else. I took some metal rods from him, and then I had my dad help me use a heat gun to use a PVC pipe to put it on there so we can have the drum kit sit on top of these metal pipes that we just found. The metal pipes are too tall though. So like I'm sitting in my couch and I'm slumped down lower and my arms are way higher than they have to be drumming on this thing, right? Like the drum kit you want it that a little bit lower maybe to your waist. Like the drum kit is like almost to nipple size and I'm like, yeah, this is too tall. So I stood up and I started drumming and I was leaning on the armrest of my couch. And so what I realized is that because I still needed to kickstand, I was using all of my weight on my left foot while my right foot was still kickstanding. So I was standing for like 4 or 5 minutes just putting all my weight on my left foot. And then when the song ended, I just collapsed. I was like, fuck my left leg. This wasn't worth it. But also, I would totally do it again. So, by the way, I fucking drumming on expert. That's just drumming. That's just drumming, and I do not have the coordination for that. Like anytime that the kickstand would be kicked in, I'm like, I'm dumb. I don't think I can handle this. I'm a simple boy. Just give me a guitar, maybe even hand me the microphone, and I'll sing along with it. But that's as much as I can do.
Yeah, it's hard, man. Drumming on expert's not easy, and I used to actually drum, actually drum too. So
Yeah,
I think that
exactly.
helps me
That's
with
what
it.
it is.
But yeah, it's hard. It's not easy. There's still some songs too that are like kind of impossible if you have like a bad drum set. Like for instance, like Run to the Hills on expert. If you've
Mm.
got there's a lot of those rock band drum sets that are kind of shitty because they don't hit properly. And like
Uh,
if you have a shitty drum set, you just can't do Run to the Hills. Like it's impossible because you need to roll all the time through that. And if you can't roll properly, like you're just fucked. So it kind of depends on the drum set too. I was always tempted to buy one of those premium ones they sold for it, but I never did. So
mm. I mean, you should have because now if you kept it, then that thing could be paying your mortgage for the next like
true.
40 years.
True, but well, time machines, man.
Yeah, no kidding. But either way, I'm so happy that I still have all this stuff, and I'm never getting rid of it at this point because I've put in way too much into the songs that they're just going to stay with me forever.
Awesome. Yeah, no, good stuff. I love Rock Band.
So Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to be. Hold on, I'm going to do a math equation for this one. 48 divided by 25. Uh, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is going to be a less than $2 per track out of 10, and Rock Band 4 is going to be a let's say 600 songs, even though not all of them were purchased for $2. Let's just say, you know what, we'll just say $600 worth of DLC songs out of 10.
Very nice. Mario Kart's like an 8 out of 10 for me. And
Eh,
Rock Band.
eh, 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 8.
And Rock Band's always been around like an 8 out of 10 too. So
Dude, fucking monster. That should be a nostalgia out of 10.
yeah, I mean it's that too. All
Okay,
right.
carry on.
Let's get some TV out of the way here. So don't have much to say about Ozark because it's only the half season, those fuckers, but I did finish it. The next half season, like the stupid thing is this one's so close together too. I don't know why they just didn't launch it all at once, but the next part of the half season launches in April, so next month. So I'll get to it eventually.
Maybe Netflix has locked themselves into releasing everything all at once, and they're just like, ah, shit. Well, we want a second bump from this from people subscribing.
Yeah, that's honestly probably it. It was good though. It was really good. I liked the show a lot. So yeah, I talked about it last week. So still very good. Still gonna watch it.
Okay, well, just because we're in the TV section, I may as well throw out my single TV show that I have here. Succession season 3. I went back to it after I finished Elden Ring. Like literally, I finished Elden Ring. I turned to my wife and I was like, "You're the Elden Lord." Now, the reason I called her the Elden Lord is because, of course, in Elden Ring, my character is based off of her. So like
Oh, okay.
my character looked like her because like I just thought it would be funny if anytime she would die, she would just be like, "Are you fucking killing me again?" I'm like, yeah, but like it wasn't my fault. Like just some dude was hiding behind a corner and stabbed you. I did what I could." So I turned to her. I was like, "You're the Elden Lord. What do you want to do? What TV have we dropped?" And she's like, "We have Succession." I'm like, "Oh yeah, Succession." Um, I'm out, honestly. I don't think this final episode is gonna pull me back and be like, this is why you need to watch season 4. I don't know what it is. I think I just enjoyed season 1 and 2, where even though these are all horrible people, the stuff that they're doing was entertaining enough that I was just like, yeah, I want to see if this blows up in your face. And usually it would, but they still would survive enough to not have it completely kill them. So I was like, yeah, you know what? I think I'm enjoying this. But there's something about season 3 where it feels like it's trying to, for some reason, it feels like Succession season 3 is expecting me to care about these characters more than I do. And just seeing any of them do anything, it's like, I kind of don't care. There's a threat of going to prison at some point for some of these characters, and I see them kind of freaking out, and I'm not even really entertained by them freaking out. I'm just kind of thinking, yeah, if you went to prison, okay, yeah, sure. I don't really care. That's fine. And whenever they end up with either going or not going, whatever the results were, I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, those are results. Yeah, sure, okay. And once I realized that I was just being very passive about almost anything that happened, I was like, I don't know if I care about this now. It's still gorgeously shot. Please keep using the music that you're using because the music is great, but at the end of the day, I don't find it that entertaining with how horrible they're being. At some point, it just became rote of, yeah, you guys are just terrible people, and you guys are gonna keep doing this, but it still hasn't hit like a new level of terribleness for me to accept it. Nor does it seem like it's becoming funny enough to make whatever terrible things they're doing more entertaining. So yeah, Succession season 3. This might be where I jump off. I have one episode left, which honestly, now that I realize I hadn't finished it, I think I'm probably just going to watch that later on today.
Perfect. Yeah, I don't know. I actually really liked season 3. I think season 3 is my favorite season. Funny enough, so I don't know. It clicked different for me. I will say I think the show is very overrated by people. Especially like going into this show, all I heard was how this is the best show on television right now. And I mean, to be fair, a lot of people say that for their favorite shows, so I get it. But I just
Hmm.
it's not that good. Like, this wouldn't even be in my top 20 shows of all time if I was making a list, top 50 maybe. But it's very good. I still really enjoy it, and definitely enough for me to keep watching. And yeah, I mean, season 4 will be interesting to see where they go with it. I think they've said they're only going to do like 4 or 5 seasons max, so it's probably good they're wrapping it up soon. I don't know if I'd want it to go for longer than that. And we'll see how they finish things out.
All right, so Succession season 3 is going to be a no, that's a spoiler. Because if I were to say that, it would become really obvious who I'd be talking about. Um, it's just going to be a nice string section over terrible people out of 10.
Fair enough. It's probably like a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10 for me right now after 3 seasons. So somewhere around there.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, Mayor of Easttown, or otherwise as I like to call it, the Mayor of Pogtown. Uh,
Mhm.
Look, this is pretty good. I liked it. It was good. Kate Winslet is great. I love Kate Winslet, so whenever she's in something, I'm like biased towards it because I like her a lot. Ever since Eternal Sunshine, really, but she's been in a lot of stuff I've enjoyed more than just that. And yeah, it's good. It's really good. I don't. I was sitting here near the end of it, and I was like, this is good. I don't think it's great, but then the finale is like actually really excellent, and it's very rare that I get genuinely shocked by something in a finale. Like I'm like, oh, or a twist or whatever. I was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. It's rare that I'm ever like blown away by that. This one did it though, and like because it's interesting. They kind of frame something at the end of the second to last episode, and it's like, oh, okay, I see where you're going with it. This is an obvious twist, and then they kind of do that in the finale, and you're like, okay. And then it happens early on, and the rest of the episode keeps playing, and it's like there's something else later on that kind of changes everything. It's like, oh shit, I didn't expect that. So it was really cool, and it caught me off guard. And the finale kind of elevated a bit for me because just generally doesn't happen. I thought it was really well made and well done. And yeah, more miniseries Kino from HBO. I don't think they're doing another season. I think it was a one-off. So good, really good. It's certainly not like the best HBO miniseries for me is still The Night of. I've never seen anything for me personally that's topped that. And I'm still looking, but yeah, this was enjoyable, and I'm glad I watched it.
Mare of Easttown. I want to watch this because when I was in Hawaii and for some reason it was late at night and we couldn't go to sleep, they had the Emmys on. And when I saw that Kate Winslet was actually winning stuff, I was like, oh, hey, Kate Winslet. I like you, Kate Winslet. I should give you a chance. HBO? Yeah, sure. Why not? So, yeah, I'll get to it, but also, God, who the hell knows whenever the hell I'm actually getting to it? There's so much TV that oh yeah, I'm going to tell you because I've been holding on to this, but Succession. After that, I want to start Twin Peaks. So yeah, I'm joining you there.
Yo, let's
Yes, mhm,
go.
yes, I know. So uh, Succession. After that, probably start Twin Peaks immediately after. I'm pretty sure my wife is going to dip out of it, so that means that it won't slow me down. I can. Oh, look, I don't know if that's going to be for her. Okay, so if she jumps out, then that means that my ability to watch this show is just going to just skyrocket, right? So yeah, the Mayor of Easttown. Who the hell knows? Out of 10.
Yeah, it's a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Great miniseries. Speaking of Twin Peaks, yeah, I'll jump right into it. So, and I'm actually going to bundle the two Lynch things together, Twin Peaks and Eraserhead here. So we'll
Mhm.
dip into movies after that. Finally, Twin Peaks. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to start it, I guess we'll be talking about it. I started a rewatch of it. I have two episodes left, I think, in the first season. So I'll kind of just talk about there, and obviously not going to spoilers or anything. But yeah, it's good. It's just so deliciously weird and campy. It's so interesting to watch this again and just see the differences, but especially between this and like the Return, which is like the third season. This is kind of like Lynch is just parodying soap operas basically here, and he's obviously constrained by network television because this aired on fucking ABC. So, like, there was he couldn't get away with the things he would want to get away with, and he kind of plays it up in the show somewhat, and it's cool. And yeah, it's just so bizarre and so unique. Although it's probably the least bizarre thing Lynch has ever done, which I mean is saying something, but
Mhm.
it's still weird as hell and quirky and a lot of fun. And I'm definitely excited to jump into. And the whole reason I'm rewatching in the first place is because I've had an itch to watch The Return again, which is the third season, where it just it's Lynch on heroin, and it's fantastic. So I love it, and yeah, we'll get there eventually. So yeah, thoughts? Why did you decide to start to watch it?
No, that's the thing because you started to watch it, and I was like, well, I kind of. Oh, that's the thing. Have you not noticed that anytime I am indecisive about what to choose next, I just go like, hey, Addi, what's your list? What
Yeah,
can I
that's
choose
true.
from
I
there?
didn't think about that.
Look, this is the unintended consequences of doing passive pixels. I have now found someone who I can just, what am I going to do? Ah, perfect. Shorten the list of what I could do. Ah, shit. Every single movie that you watch is not on streaming in the US. Perfect. This, my plan has just gone kaput. It's gone. So yeah, honestly, Twin Peaks just feels like if I have so much Lynch stuff to watch, I feel like Twin Peaks may be the beginning of just freebasing him, and then eventually I can go into his movies after.
Yeah, I would actually agree. I think Twin Peaks is a great place to start for Lynch in general because you're gonna see like really cool stuff in season one that's like not typical Lynch but still weird and fun. Unfortunately, you're gonna suffer through season two, but that's when you pull the phone out and do whatever the hell else you want. And then you get the return, which is much more in line with Lynch in film. And basically, Lynch actually considers Lynch considers the return to be just one 18-hour movie. He said that. So it's basically
Yeah.
just one 18-hour movie. And that's kind of the way to look at it. And then that's going to be the perfect gap way, if you like it, of course. That'll be the perfect bridge gap way to his film. So it's actually a really great place to start, I think, in terms of Lynch's shit, because you don't want to just start with Eraserhead. You really don't want to just start with Eraserhead, which I'll talk about in a second. But,
The one thing I will say is that I think I don't want to go immediately into the return. Like, I think I want to do season one, season two, go off to his movies, and then come back to the return, because the return feels so much like, I would imagine that feels a lot like a culmination of everything that he's learned through movies, and then finally coming back to the TV show that somewhat started him. Does that sound accurate or no?
no, that's actually a good point, and that's totally fair. I mean, yeah, that's fine. Just remember season two is absolute
I know, I know.
garbage. So when you finish season two, you're probably never going to want to go back. But just
No.
remember, it's different. But yeah, that's correct. Like, it really is. Like, the return is probably going to be. I don't know if he'll do another movie. Like, he's getting up there in age. I don't know if we'll get another film from him or even another TV series. So if that's it, then that's basically his, his magnus opus, so to speak.
All right, so yeah, I'm going to say that Twin Peaks is gonna be. Wait, I forgot. What was? No, that wasn't the topic. What was the topic?
Yeah, it was Twin Peaks. Yeah.
Oh, it was Twin Peaks. Okay,
Yeah.
Twin Peaks is gonna get a sooner rather than later out of 10.
Cool. Yeah, I'll keep watching it. No score yet, but we'll finish that. We'll figure that out when we get to it. So I'll jump right into Eraserhead now. Jesus, what the fuck, David? David, David, if you're listening, you're not listening, but if you're listening, do you need to talk, my friend? Are things okay? Were things okay back in 1977? Obviously not, but Jesus fucking Christ. I mean, if you ever want a movie that's basically an advertisement for condoms and not to have children, this is the fucking movie for you. Boy, oh boy. And watching this again for the second time is just like, yeah, you know what? I'm good on kids. Ever, 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 never, 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 ever, ever, ever. The movie's so bizarre, but what I like about and it is pretentious. Like, I do believe he is very pretentious at times. I mean, he is. David Lynch is so pretentious. You put in his criterions; they're the only ones that don't have scene selects because he does not allow it. He does not allow a fucking scene select on his criterion because he demands you watch it all at once. The
What a
motherfucker.
legend! What a legend!
No, that's I appreciate him. But with all his bizarreness and all his weirdness, what I appreciate about it is it's not just random shit. There's a meaning behind all of it. And I don't want to go into spoilers because you obviously haven't seen it, and I assume you'll watch it one day if you end up digging Lynch's stuff.
Hmm.
But there's definitely a purpose behind Eraserhead, and once you kind of figure out what's going on here and what it represents, it just adds a whole nother layer to the movie, and it's great. It's so fucking weird. I would never recommend it to anyone, although it's the type of movie I would love to watch with somebody for the first time just to see the look of confusion on their face, like Mother. Something like that, where you're just sitting there and they have no idea what the fuck they're watching, because God knows I was the same way the first time. And really realistically the second time too. I'm sure I've just scratched the surface on that movie. But yeah, it's great. I like it a lot, and I mean, it's just Lynch being Lynch.
Now, oh wait, no, I already gave a score, right? Did I? Yeah, no, yeah, I did.
For Twin Peaks, you did, yeah.
Oh yeah, hold on. Oh, whoops, we we moved on. Shit.
Yes, it's a Lynch block.
Okay, Lynch block. Sooner rather than later, since like after season two, I'm gonna go and wander off to his movies. Is Eraserhead on the block? I don't know, but like Blue Velvet's over there, and I feel like Mulholland Drive has just been calling to me. So hopefully, maybe that's on the Criterion Channel, but I doubt it. Out of 10.
Yeah, I don't know if Lynch's stuff is on the Criterion Channel or not. I don't think it is, unfortunately. But Mulholland
Okay.
Drive's so popular, it's got to be somewhere streaming. So I imagine it will be. But yeah, great movie. All right, so let me just jump into more movies now. I'll just start rattling stuff off. Let me know when you want to jump in.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so you know what? I'll just get it out of the way quick. The Batman. I watched it again. Listened to the spoiler cast. Well, it's not really spoiler cast, but it's the hour discussion we did with you, me, and good old Sean Mason.
Batman's in the title. It counts.
Yes, exactly. Great. I still love it. Still feel the exact same way about it. That's the fourth time I've seen it. I don't know if I'm going to see it again. I think four is good. I think we'll stop there. I've got that Steely from Amazon Italy on order, So I think whenever that comes in, we'll watch the 4K again. But I think I'm good for now.
Okay, Mulholland Drive is on the Criterion Channel. We are all good. We are all set.
Nice. That's good to hear. Glad to hear.
Wonderful. Okay, the Batman. There's a special. Well, I mean, there's a. Do I still want to call that a special episode? What that? Whatever. I'm not going to worry about the title. Okay, it's special episode out of 10.
Cool. It's still a 9 out of 10 for me, 4.5 out of 5. So good stuff. Let's bundle a couple of movies together here. And maybe my favorite bundle I've ever done of movies.
Oh
Ever.
God.
So we've got Requiem for a Dream and Paddington. Hold on. It'll make sense in a second. I promise. So we'll start with Requiem for a Dream. First of all, shout out to Best Buy for sending a damaged steelbook. I fucking hate you. But we'll survive. We'll forgive and forget. Still a gorgeous steelbook, even with
Neil.
Yeah, and I'll Druckman that. Look, Requiem for a Dream is just pure unfiltered depression, and I mean the movie makes you feel like such shit, and you kind of get like little bolts of like, oh well, things are going good for these characters, but I mean none of this is sustainable. This is not sustainable. So you're never really happy because you just know things are gonna go to shit. And oh boy, do they go to shit in an epic fashion. This is like the third time I think I've seen it, and God help me, I never want to watch it again. I really don't. It's
You walked
just
into that rake 3 times. At least the
yes,
first time, maybe you didn't know the rake was there.
yeah. I mean, I heard it was bad. But I didn't know it was that bad. But yeah, this is the third time, and hopefully the last. I will say, I sent a picture of it in the Discord. That 4K menu is so cool. It's like the infomercial for the show they do, and it's cool and I love that. But yeah, I have no desire to ever go back to that. And it's horrifying. So yeah, Requiem's great. Do you have any thoughts?
Requiem for a Dream is a very good movie that I never want to watch again. My brain always remembers 3 things. We'll go into, you know what? No, we'll do a 10-second thing. So, 3, 2, 1. Remember the rules. Usually skip forward like 10 seconds and it won't happen. Here we go. The fridge. The fridge coming alive. The shootout and running away from the camera, and ass. I think
Yes.
that was 10 seconds. Okay, cool. I was like, please, just let it be 10 seconds. And now I'm adding only this to elongate it longer if someone were to skip it. But yes, those 3 things have stuck in my brain for the longest amount of time. They live rent-free there, and I'm happy to give it back to them. Actually, you know what? Not even that. Just the opening of the movie as well lives rent-free in my brain. Because once you realize what's going on, I was like, oh, God, that's really dark, and we're starting with that, huh? Only downhill from here.
Yeah, no shit. So Requiem, horrifying out of 10. It's like a 9 out of 10, but yeah, never again, please.
Requiem for a Dream is, imagine if the DARE program actually got you to stop smoking weed out of 10.
Correct. So I finished that and I was like, well, I hate my life now. What can I do to feel some semblance of normalcy again? Some semblance of love. And that love comes in the form of Paddington, everyone's favorite Paddington. And yeah, I've seen this before. I watched this the second time watching it, and I still love it. It's amazing. It's the perfect family movie in every single way. It's great. It warmed me up. It made me feel less like shit. So God bless you, Paddington, for that. Got the Steely. The Steely's amazing. I love it. I actually went on eBay after. And I was like, man, I really want to watch Paddington 2. How cheap can I get this 4K? I actually found it for pretty cheap. It was like, I think it was like $18. So
You
I was like,
son of a
cool.
bitch. I spent like 30.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. So I was like, shit, this is awesome. So I grabbed it from eBay, free shipping. It's from the UK, so it's going to take like a month to get here. But now I too have the break glass in case of emergency button, and I will for sure be using that on Paddington 2. Actually, there was a movie that somebody had told me about. I forget what it was, and I was going to bundle that with Paddington 2, but now I don't remember. I'll have to ask the Discord later. There was something, but yeah. But yeah, Paddington's amazing.
Son of a bitch. It would have been $16 for me too. Fuck.
Yeah, it's pretty cheap on eBay. You think you got ripped off?
Well, you know what? Whatever, okay? Paddington, you deserve the double the price that I paid, is what I'm going to tell myself and lie to myself about, and which I still... But yes, Paddington, phenomenal movie. Are you having a shitty day? Do you want to feel like it's worth living again? Paddington 2 exists, okay? So does Paddington 1. It's such a heartwarming movie, and it just reminds you, you know what? It could be a lot worse, because you could have not watched Paddington today. it is. That's the thing. People are like, "Oh, is it a meme or not?" Like, no. Paddington is actually just that good and that heartwarming that it makes you just really want to take care of this bear and just give him everything he needs, and he will enrich your life in the movie, or if you were actually watching it. Like, if you're actually in the movie and you're taking care of Paddington, he's going to make your life better. Are you watching Paddington? He's already making your life better. This thing is a little beacon of light, and as soon as we get Paddington 3, I feel like we can finally put Paddington right next to the Before trilogy and the Dark Knight trilogy and Lord of the Rings trilogy as the greatest trilogies of all time, okay? And I don't know how much of that is me being ironic. I think it may be like less than 5% of me saying that with irony. But yes, Paddington, phenomenal time. Paddington 2, again, same thing. It's going to be a break glass moment where if I'm having a shitty enough day, I will watch Paddington 2 and remind myself, maybe don't kill yourself at a time.
Yeah, Paddington is 10 out of 10 Scorsese cinema at its finest.
Yes, exactly. Kino.
Kino. Okay, let's do the David Fincher block next. So I've
Ooh, ooh,
got
ooh, ooh.
Mank and The Game. So we'll start with Mank. Yeah, so this was a Netflix film that was was released exclusively on Netflix back in 2020, I think. It was 2020. Hey, it's good. I like it. It's not up to the regular standards and what I expect from Finch. And a lot of people don't like this movie, and I really understand why. Like, it's slow at times, and there's really not a lot going on compared to, especially some of his other movies where, you got the serial killer motives usually and stuff like that. And this is just about a guy trying to write Citizen Kane. Very different type of story. I am interested. I wonder if this would have hit differently if I had watched Citizen Kane first. Citizen Kane's coming very soon, by the way. It's my 1,000th movie. When I go to watch my 1,000th movie and log in on Letterboxd, I've chosen
Ooh,
Citizen Kane for that.
that's a good
So
choice.
20, I think 24 movies away now, so we're getting pretty close to that. But yeah, I'll be interested to see with this kind of fresh in my mind. Probably when I get to that point, what like if that changes my view on this at all, because it's basically that's what this movie is about. One of the guys who wrote Citizen Kane. But yeah, it's good. Gary Oldman is phenomenal. Love Gary Oldman. He's great in this. Does an amazing job. And yeah, this is just, I mean, it's a good movie. It's lower tier Fincher for sure. I think I have it second to last of his movies. It's still better than The Panic Room though. I don't like Panic Room. But yeah, there's a lot to like about this movie. There's some really good performances. It's shot gorgeously. It's black and white, which I'm watching a lot of black and white movies, and I really do like black and white movies. So yeah, it's good stuff.
Mank exists. That one just, I look at it, I'm like, this doesn't look like it'd be a Fincher movie. And then add to the fact that it was Netflix produced, it's enough for me to go, yeah, I have no idea when I'll watch you. And honestly, like, it's fine. Okay, whatever. Will I watch it at some point? Yeah, but I think I'd probably need to watch Citizen Kane first. I am what, 4 movies away from 1100. I don't feel like that's enough of a milestone to do Citizen Kane, but yeah, I don't know when I'll get to this. Will I ever even ever get to it? I don't know, but yeah, that movie definitely exists.
Yeah, so it's a like 7 out of 10 for me. All right, so that's Mank, and then let's talk about The Game. A lot more positive on The Game. Game's great, really great. It's Fincher. It's honestly, I think, one of his more underrated movies. I really do feel that. And after watching it, I put it as my second favorite Fincher movie. Or sorry, yeah, second. So say second. That could change after I rewatch Fight Club, because it's been a long time since I've seen Fight Club, and that's coming eventually. So we'll see if that holds second. But for now, it is. I did just recently rewatch Zodiac, and I do like it better than Zodiac. The thing I like, so like, okay, Fincher's got a very, like, he's got his thing for serial killers. He's got that same vibe. Like Mank, although better, this just feels like a very different type of Fincher movie, but still it has like a lot of his trademark things with it. Michael Douglas is phenomenal in this movie. He's so good. And I just love movies that make you question everything. Like the basic plot of this movie, I'm not going to get into spoilers, obviously, because you haven't seen it. But the
Hmm.
basic plot is just a guy who has everything. He's rich as fuck, and his brother shows up and is like, "Hey, I didn't know what to get you, so I got you this ticket to play a game. Go play the game." And that's all I'll say. And
We
everything,
all lost.
yeah. Everyone loses, by the way, right now. Fuck you all. Um, and he just doesn't, and just things get fucking nuts and crazy and bonkers, and I love it, and it makes you question everything. and it's just a great movie. The atmosphere is incredible. Really good cinematography here. Really just sharp writing, and it all ends and it circles around and ends in a really satisfactory way. And you'll actually, I won't even say 'cause it's kind of a spoiler, so never mind. But it's really good, and I recommend if you haven't seen this one, because a lot of people haven't. It's very early Fincher. I would definitely recommend checking this out because I think a lot of people kind of sleep on this movie. It's actually one of his only movies. I think maybe the only movie, shockingly, in the Criterion collection. But it absolutely deserves to be there. That's what I bought the Criterion version of it. I've been By the way, I've been watching all my Criterion movies. I only have one left now. And yeah, this was just really, really well made and a great movie.
Not streaming anywhere out of 10. God damn it. Oh my god. I keep having so many Blu-rays over here that it's like I can't justify renting anything when I have just so much sitting there. The game, I will happily watch this at some point because Fincher feels like someone who I feel like I am so close to closing the loop on him. By the way, I'm not watching Alien 3. I'm not doing that. Like that doesn't count as part of the loop. Whatever. That was a paycheck that didn't exist to me. I'm not doing that. But like Fincher's actual movies, I want to close the loop on that. So the game, yeah, that's the thing. We're in what, March already? Yeah, I'm kind of glad that I didn't put a New Year's resolution on any movies right now because fucking Elden Ring came in and just demolished things before. But yeah, I feel like I should sit down and try to close the loop on some directors. Fincher might be the one that I want to choose then.
Yeah, he's an easy one to do because he doesn't have a giant filmography either. Although apparently not if he does his shit's not streaming anywhere, unfortunately. Um, but yeah, the game that sucks that the game's not streaming anywhere. It's weird because we were looking at that and it's streaming in Canada on Netflix, I think it was too. So Americans
Oh
got dicked
damn.
by that one.
I don't really have that much that I would need to close the loop with. I would need The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Mank the Game, and Panic Room.
Okay, well, there are two really good movies there in my opinion. The other two are sorry. No, yeah, two really good, one pretty good, and then but I mean that'll be a good time.
I'm assuming the is Panic Room.
Yeah, I mean people actually like Panic Room, so maybe that's just me, but I was not a fan of that one at all. So
All of these are streaming except the game. So hey, that might be an idea. I'm sorry, Twin Peaks, but maybe the Girl and the Dragon Tattoo sneaks in. I don't know. Maybe.
yeah, you can always do both. I always like to do a TV series and a movie.
True, but like, look, my wife can handle only so much, So
That's true. That's
if I can disappear for long stretches of the time, but like that was the long stretches of the time was for Elden Ring. I don't know if I can do that for for two weird things with Twin Peaks and David Fincher.
No, I don't. Those movies you list, I don't think any of them are that weird.
No, okay, but here's the thing though: do they sound weird? Because just imagine that you're in a house and then like 3 rooms down, you just have an entire sound system of just yelling.
Nah, I mean, fair. I mean, the game's kind of weird, I guess, in a way too. But the other three, like Meg's certainly not. Meg's just normal. Panic Room, I don't
Like
think would be that bad.
the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you admit.
Yeah, A Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, you're gonna get some noises out of that for sure. Good movie though, really good movie.
By the way, just because I feel like we're already on the topic of noises, Y Tu Mama Tambien, The Handmaiden, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire all being somewhat sexually charged. It's just like, oh man, the sound system is just playing this really loudly, huh?
Yeah, I had to. I mean, we'll talk about the Handmaiden later, but I
Yeah,
had to turn the volume down a couple
yeah,
of
yeah, that's reasonable.
times.
Uh,
Okay,
yeah,
we're
go
done
for
with
it.
that, right? Yeah. All
Uh-huh.
right. I'm just gonna get this out of the way now. I watched The Sword and the Sorcerer with my dad because he wanted to watch it. I mean, it's '80s fucking titillating schlock. Like that's what they tried to make. It's bad. It's bad. It's not funny. The guy has a sword of 3 blades. I mean, you know what you're getting into when you have a sword with fucking 3 blades. And then I gave it like 2 stars out of 5. And then I looked at my dad's letterbox because he's on there now, and he gave it a 5 out of 5, and I almost blocked him. That's all I got to say.
I have never even heard of this movie. I'm not even gonna pretend to say anything about it out of 10.
All right, great. Moving on. Let's talk about Shin Godzilla.
Okay, okay, okay.
So this is from Hideki. How do I say his name? Hideki.
Hideki Anno.
I don't know. Thank you, Hideki Anno, the creator of Eva. Yeah, that's that guy. He decided to do a
He's
Godzilla
returning.
movie. Hey, it's pretty good. I liked it. It was an
Oh,
interesting take on Godzilla. It was fun. there was a lot of interesting things about this movie. There is they use the Eva song in it that made me want to die. I'm not gonna lie. That
What a legend.
yeah, just the dun 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 dun. I was like,
Oh
oh
wait,
god,
he used the
no.
fight theme?
Yes, yes, yes. And I'm just like,
King. King, what a
ah.
fucking legend.
Like it was the dog in the Vietnam flashback. Fucking Jim was like, oh no, no, no. But yeah, it's good. It's interesting because again, you haven't seen this, so I'll tread carefully. But there's multiple phases of Godzilla in this,
Mhm.
and he starts off looking really goofy as fuck, and like it actually bothered me. But by the end, he looks really cool and scary, and yeah, Godzilla like. And it sold me on it. The only thing I'll say about it is this is weird to say, especially after Eva, but I kind of wish he went darker with it. Like I kind of wish it was a little darker. It was a little. I was just expecting kind of some more fuckery, and we didn't quite get that fuckery I was expecting from like End of Eva or something like that. And I mean, he's probably handcuffed a bit because it's Godzilla. I'm sure there's only so much he can do with that license, but I mean, that's the kind of thing that's ripe to just get really fucked with. I feel if you could, and it doesn't quite go that extra mile, but it was still enjoyable. I liked it.
I saw Shin Godzilla and it was $10 on Amazon as soon as you said the Eva song played because it's like, oh my fucking god, are you kidding me? Can you do that? Is that legal? Like, Lord, my lord, is that legal? Um, it was $10. I was like, I'm gonna do it, and then I remembered. Do you remember how many DLC songs of Rock Band you just bought right now? What the fuck is wrong with you? I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I should not buy Shin Godzilla for $10. Thank you, brain. I'm going to stop myself. So yeah, I almost bought Shin Godzilla while listening to this out of 10. I don't know if there's anything else I could say.
Oh, that's great. It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Good movie. What next? What next? What next? What next? What next? Let's do. You know, let's get this out of the way too. Let's do Windfall. This
Okay.
is a Netflix original movie. Um, it's so mid. Do you mind if I spoil this one, Ed?
I don't care.
Okay.
Remember that when it comes to spoiling things, if you think it sucks that bad that you need to
Yeah.
spoil it, that kind of says a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, so I need to spoil this one because this the ending for this pisses me off so much. So I'm gonna go ahead and spoil this. So, if you actually care, 3, 2,
The
1.
next
I can't.
timestamp for whatever the next thing is.
Yeah, I can't even think of a fucking dumb spoiler to throw out here. Look, I'm just gonna get into it. So, look, the entire movie is this premise where it's like this guy's in this billionaire's house, this like tech billionaire's house. He's
We've all
stealing
been
some
there.
money from him. The tech billionaire gets home, who's played by oh fuck, what's his name? Meth Damon, Fat Damon. Fuck. Jesse Plemons. Jesse Plemons. Thank you. So Jesse
You're saying
Plemons.
thank you. I didn't even say a word, but okay,
Yeah, I'm
continue.
thinking I'm thinking myself.
Oh,
Um,
Obama, go, Obama, warning Obama.
yeah, public masturbate. Um, Jesse Plemons is in it, and he's good, by the way. He's like the best part of this movie. I like him. But you've got Jason Segel in here too, and then the girl Lily Harris, Lily
Sing?
Davis, I think
No, that's not it.
she's good.
Lily Singh isn't the good one.
Yeah,
Continue.
she's fine in this too. But yeah, so anyways, so you basically got this plot, and then they end up coming home, and he holds them at gunpoint and basically forces them to stay. Things get out of hand. He wants more money. It's your typical. It's trying to be a Hitchcockian like thriller, and it misses the mark most of the time. It's fine, but it misses the mark. It's not a good enough script. The director's not talented enough to make this work. But then the ending is so bad. Like I don't understand why, but it's like the ending makes the ending. I feel like it wants you to hate the billionaire, Jesse Plemons' character. And I don't know why you would. Like he's kind of a dick throughout the movie, yeah. Like he's kind of a douchebag. Like he tries to like solve things with money, but he's never like outrageously over the top evil or anything like that. He's just a rich guy who wants to enjoy his fucking vacation, which like okay, let him do that. And at the very end, it just has like his girlfriend come and fucking kill him. And take the money for herself and leave. And it's like, okay, like that escalated out of nowhere. I don't quite understand why you suddenly decided to kill him. And yeah,
Well,
it's just
because he's rich, he's evil naturally.
yeah, it's so lazy, man. It's so lazy, and like I already thought the movie was like fine to mid, and then that just happened. It's like, oh my god, this is bad. And like, yeah, I didn't see it coming, so props for that, but it wasn't very good. So yeah, that just the middest of mid Netflix original shit. Yeah.
The score I'm going to give this out of hearing that is I'm going to give it a A nice movie for a wine mom to put on during Sunday when they're not paying attention. Out of 10.
That's true. It's like a 2 out of 5 for me.
Carry on.
Okay. Let's bang through this one quick. I saw The Lost City. I don't know why I saw The
Whoa.
Lost City. I mean, I guess here's the thing. I like going to the movie theater, and even if it isn't like the best movie, I just like the experience. I like the popcorn. I just like the experience. And I mean, yeah, the popcorn didn't save this one. It's mid at its finest. I mean, literally, the only good part about this movie is Brad Pitt's like basic appearance and cameo for like the first like 10-15 minutes. He's actually hilarious in this. And as soon as his character is no longer around in the movie anymore, it just plummets in quality really fast. I don't remember laughing much after that. I mean, it's fine, I guess, at points. And I will give it credit. Daniel Radcliffe is like the villain is like better. It was a better Uncharted villain than Uncharted had. So, I mean, he probably should have just been in that movie, and that actually would have been like it would have made this one worse and Uncharted better. But I like Uncharted more, so fine, do that. But I don't know. This is just so mid.
I have nothing to add. This is no movie that I'm ever going to think about. I honestly, even when you were speaking about it, I feel like the title already left my head. Out of 10.
Yeah, another like this is 2.5 out of 5. Just I don't know, mid movie. All right, let's move on. Let's talk about some good stuff now. Let's go back to the top here. Let's talk about La La Land. La La Land. Mr. Chazelle's second movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
fantastic. I love this movie. It still holds up really well for me. It's my second time watching it. Was my second time watching it. Gorgeous steelbook, by the way. God, it's gorgeous if you haven't seen it. The music in this is all just so good. I love jazz music. So, I mean, you're just speaking to my soul right off the top there. It's just a fantastic story. I love it. What they managed to accomplish with it and the characters, and just, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to get into spoilers right now, but what they managed to kind of circle out and the meaning of it and just the kind of themes of it are all really, really great, I feel. And yeah, I just love this movie. I think it's a lot of fun, except when it's not. um, and I can't wait to see what's next for him. I think Chazelle's made 3 really solid movies, fantastic movies, even for the most part. And he's got a new one coming out, I think, this year. So it'll be
Wait, is it
very
this year?
exciting to see where we go with that. I think if I'm ranking his movies, I think I stand pat on what I've said earlier. I think it's Whiplash, then La La Land, then First Man for me.
You
And
see,
yeah,
I would
this is
swap
great.
the bottom two.
Yeah, no, I know that you like First Man more. I'd watch First Man again sometime and see if it changes, but I think biopics are always going to be a tougher sell for me. And there's just something about La La Land, man. That jazz music is just it speaks to me.
Okay, hold on. Babylon. Limited release on December 25th, 2022. Let's fucking go. Oh my god, this is going to be a great Christmas gift from Daddy Chazelle. Oh, hell yes. I'm in.
My fingers are crossed actually because I plan on going to Toronto International Film Festival this year, and I really hope that's going to be there. I really hope that is one that could be. So my fingers are crossed for that one.
Ooh, that sounds like that could work. Okay, so La La Land. I watched this one in theaters twice. I don't remember how it happened. I feel like one time I watched it normal, the next time I watched it in IMAX. Either way, loved it both times. That ending still brings down the house every single fucking time. Although every subsequent time that I've watched it, I've liked it less and less, and it usually happens by the time that John Legend shows up. And it feels like, you know what? Let's just say this. I'll leave it here because I may want to go into spoilers to explain that. But basically, I feel like the second half of the movie ends up suffering, and then eventually it just starts coming back up around the ending, and then the ending saves it just completely. So, La La Land, I've actually kind of stopped wanting to watch it because I feel like every time I watch it, I just like it less and less. So, yes, La La Land, still a phenomenal movie. That Steelbook is absolutely just fucking great still. So, La La Land, absolutely a worthwhile movie. Just maybe, don't watch it more than 5 times. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. I don't like John Legend at all. Whenever John Legend shows up and just ruins shit, it's kind of annoying because like well, first off, I don't know if it's that I find him annoying or if it's whatever he's doing in the movie is annoying. I don't know. I just don't like him. I don't like that the movie actually gives him a whole ass song that is. I really hate his fucking song. I hate the song that he has in there because like the movie positions it so much as like, yeah, this is what we don't want jazz to sound like, but then you give him an entire musical number for the entire like it's not even condensed. Like you give him an entire 3 minutes to do his song, and it feels like, yeah, well, we got John Legend, so we need to give him his entire song. No, fuck John Legend. Don't give him his entire song. Um, I don't like the conflict between the two of them. Between oh my god, I remember shit. Emma Stone. Yeah, Emma Stone and Ryan Gosling. I don't like their conflict because it's like he. Okay, hold on. How do I explain this? Actors are supposed to sell out. Actors, you would need to sell out first before you actually go and you can be choosy with whatever you can be picky with whatever roles they give you. And it kind of seems like whenever she's like, "Oh, well, you sold out. You're playing music with John Legend." It's kind of weird to me because it's like, well, you're an actor. Like you would have to sell out too. That's why your one woman show bombed. Like it felt weird because it feels like if I were in that room, I would have been making different arguments. Like, shut up. You do realize that sometimes you need to sell out to make money so then you can do the passion projects that you want. You're doing a fucking TV show that's basically a ripoff of the show from Pulp Fiction. Like you can't be in any position to talk, Emma Stone. You're being a hypocrite here too. And the problem is that this ends up breaking my brain for a little bit. That it isn't until like John Legend finally gets out of the picture that I finally start caring about the characters again. But it's such a weird turn for me now. It's like you're kind of being a hypocrite here. And even though that's still a really well acted scene between those two actors, it still rings hollow to me because at that point I'm like, I could be doing this argument better than you can.
So okay, so for John Legend, first of all, it's weird, but I almost feel like the Don Draper meme, where it's like I don't even think about you at all. Like he's just not in it that much for me. Like yeah, he has that song, I get it. And if you don't like the song, that's one thing. But
I don't like
like
him.
what is he in it for? Like 10 minutes total, maybe?
But that's the thing. His presence directs the movie in a different direction, in a
It
worse
does. No,
direction.
it definitely swings in a different direction, but I guess I didn't mind that direction. And I don't hate the character. I mean, he's there. It's just there. It's not amazing or anything like that, but I mean, it swings in that direction. As for the fight with them, I don't know. The only thing I could say to that is I feel that it kind of makes sense in a way because you're right. Emma Stone would have to sell out, but she hasn't had any success yet. Yeah, success
Yeah,
yet.
that's why. That's
So
why
well, that's
she
why. So
hasn't sold out.
yeah, so she doesn't know yet. Like she's naive. She has no idea yet that he has to do these things. And I also think it's more than just that too. Like I think like obviously the big pitchfork and things is the fact that the dude's always going to be on the road now, and she doesn't want to go with him and give up her attempt and her life at this, and it just drives a wedge. And I don't know, that just felt real
Are
to
they
me.
teenagers? Can they not see each other? Like,
Well, I mean, I'm sure they could, but it's long distance shit's hard, man. I mean, long distance shit just doesn't work that often.
have you been? Did you see all of Summer in this movie? They would be able to make it work.
Yeah, I mean, you got Summer. That's true. I don't know. I just I felt like they were just to me. It never felt like watching that movie. It just never felt like they were right for each other. And I feel like when you kind of get that ending where you kind of see that alternate future and alternate path where they could have ended up together, but I think it was the right move that they didn't because they both got happy careers out of it. They both got their own thing to do. She ended up with with a different man and a kid, and he ended up with his own bar, and they got to flourish and live their lives and do good. So I don't know. I just appreciated that look at it and the feeling that hey, you know what? Like these two could be important for a time in their lives and set each other in the right direction, but that doesn't mean they were right for each other. As tough as it is.
To be fair, I feel like that ending kind of solidifies that they could have been right for each other. It's just that they decided not to be. Like that ending to me just kind of tells me, oh, you guys would have worked out completely fine. You guys would have had to sacrifice your dreams, but you would have been sacrificing one dream for another. And the ending to me is that you guys made your choice. You guys decided to sacrifice each other for your career dreams. And that ending to me is telling me, but you guys could have easily sacrificed your dreams for each other. And I think that's what it is. It's just the ending is like you couldn't have both. And that's okay with me. I'm okay with them not being able to have both. My only issue is that like it, okay, the whole I don't know how I feel about the him missing the one man show, because I also feel like you could have just made a phone call or something, right? Like
Yeah,
you
yeah, that was stupid. I don't like that. Like that was a very easy problem to avoid.
like, oh no, I'm taking photos. Like he had enough. Like he had intentions of going to it. Like he did. He could have just easily just sent a text like, "Hey, sorry," or literally, it's a photo shoot. It's John Legend. Did you see that concert? You could totally go do a line of heroin and then just run out of there screaming, and everyone just be like, "Yeah, that's just him doing that thing now. Whatever." Like I assume a whole bunch of musical artists can just do whatever the fuck they want, and he can't avoid a photo shoot. Like John Legend specifically seeked you out to play with him. You probably have a little bit of leverage to walk away and then come back like, ah, sorry, let's do those photos again.
Yeah, that scene definitely felt a little forced because that was just handled terribly by him. And I mean, maybe that's realistic. Maybe he's just an idiot and didn't want to handle it the right way. But I don't know. Like that just seemed like an easy an easy problem to avoid for sure.
Also, you're Ryan Gosling, like literally just give them one smile and then walk out. Like there's like just use this photo over and over again, Photoshop me with different lighting, whatever, who cares?
I don't know.
Uh,
See, Ryan Gosling's got that with great power comes great responsibility with his smile. He can't just use it willy nilly.
Either way, La La Land, man, I just don't like John Legend. And every single time that my wife and I have rewatched it recently, anytime he shows up, we're just like, all right, skip forward. Just, all right, here's the dinner scene. All good. Skip forward. And then we get to the ending. Because, I don't know, man. Like, I enjoy sadness, but for some reason, it feels so much like a slog in the second half every time that I rewatch it. I still really like the movie. Yeah, I still really like the Steelbook. I'm just terrified of if I were to keep watching it, that Steelbook would not stay on the shelf.
Yeah, that's fair. So probably don't watch it anymore
Yeah.
ever
Oh
again.
no, it stays on there. Yay! I still like it. I hope I never have to question getting rid of the Steelbook.
Yeah, I mean, gorgeous steelbook too. So that's not one you'd want to get rid of.
Exactly. La La Land, Best Buy Steelbook. If you want to look it up, it is not the white one. It is the new purple one. Okay. So yeah, La La Land is gonna be a Damon Chazelle. Ooh, 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 out of 10.
Yeah, it's a solid 8 out of 10 for me. Just a really great movie. I like it a lot.
Okay. I
Uh,
have one, two, three,
yes.
4, 5 things left.
Yeah, I've still got way more. So
Carry on. Keep
yeah,
going.
I'll carry on. Actually, not as much as I thought though. Let's do another block here. Let's do the. Actually, okay, hold on. I gotta make sure I say his name right, or I'm gonna get murdered. So one
Mhm.
sec. Okay, Ingmar Bergman block. Let's do our Ingmar Bergman block. The
All right. All right.
Swedish director, famous Swedish director. So I watched The Seventh Seal and Scenes from a Marriage. Here's why. I bought a bunch of movies in the last Criterion sale. They were about like 28 to $30 each, and free shipping, which was cool. And after all that, I was like, okay, let me check Amazon because I know they have Criterions too, but they're never on sale here. Like I know Amazon in the States get theirs on sale. Ours never goes on sale. They're all really expensive. They're like 38 to like $45. So I never buy from Amazon unless I really want it. But I was searching and the Seventh Seal popped up and it was only $24. And I was like, wow, that's like really fucking cheap for a Criterion. Why is it so cheap? Couldn't figure it out. So I was like, well, fuck it. I mean, for $24, I'm going to buy it and see if I like it. Scenes from a Marriage, on the other hand, after I watched The Seventh Seal, I'm like, man, I wonder if I have anything else of his on streaming. And sure enough, Scenes from a Marriage was on Crave. So I added that to watch this. I was like, well, fuck it. Let's do a thing here. So, Seventh Seal. This was incredible. So the only other Bergman movie I'd seen was Persona, which I liked, didn't love it. I have issues with it. This was just a whole other level for me, and it was so cool to see. So this movie was made back in 1957, and it's basically about a knight who returns home from war, and the plague is just taking over everything and killing everyone.
We've all been there.
And yeah, and his time is up basically, and death comes to take him. But he challenges death to a game of chess, and basically says, "Hey, if I beat you, you got to spare me. If you beat me, then you can take me." and it kind of just goes from there. And it's so much more than that, though. There's so many iconic things from this movie. I didn't even realize that pop culture has just completely ripped off. Like I didn't know.
You
And
talking about the chess game was my lightning bulb, my light bulb moment of, oh shit, is that where that's from?
yeah, yeah, there's so many things of this. Like I get, you might not know Ed what the Dance of Death is, but after you watch this movie, I guarantee you've seen something that's parodied it or had it in it. And to actually see it in this movie is maybe one of the coolest fucking, like, it's one of my favorite shots of any movie I've ever seen, and it's such a cool scene. I mean, there's just so much to love about this movie. There's so much you could dig into and talk about. It's such a complicated movie, and there's so much depth to it. I feel woefully inadequate to talk about it after only seeing it just once. So it's something I'll definitely have to rewatch and kind of get different interpretations on. But it's an incredible movie, and I think it's one that everyone should watch because it's timeless in that sense. It holds up incredibly well, and yeah, it's just great.
Ingmar Bergman will be something I get to eventually. I have no fucking idea. Oh, let's do this. So, Seventh Seal on the Criterion Channel and HBO Max. Wow, that's awesome. Maybe I'll actually use HBO Max so it's not in fucking stereo like it is on Criterion.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of Ingmar Bergman's stuff is on the Criterion Channel.
Ooh, well, you know what? Who the fuck knows when I'm gonna watch this? Because I still have Persona on Criterion Blu-ray. Who the fuck knows when I'm getting to this? I don't know. I'm Jesus Christ, my ability to watch stuff is ruined for a while.
That's fair. So it's a 9 out of 10 for me, and I assume you'll get to it eventually out of 10 or something like that.
Correct.
Yes.
That is accurate.
Okay, and then Scenes from a Marriage. So now this one's a little bit more interesting. So I actually didn't know this. So I started it, I watched it, and then somebody told me there's actually a TV version of it that's 5 hours long. That's basically a lot more in depth, and then they made a cinematic cut of it. So I didn't realize, but I was actually watching the cinematic cut. So I definitely, the Criterion for this has both the TV version and the cinematic version. So this is definitely something I'm going to get in the future now when there's another Criterion sale because I do want to watch the TV version. What was here in the film version though, very very good. I liked it a lot. It's definitely a little slow at times. It's not for everyone. It's basically all dialogue all the time, but it's just a very real and raw look at relationships and just basically one that has issues and could end. And there's one scene in particular that just might be the harshest, like, oh, I don't even want to spoil it. It's not even really a spoiler, but I just don't even want to say it because if you go into it and when you finally watch it, you'll know what I mean. But it's just, I don't think I've ever felt as shitty during a movie in a long time as watching that scene. It's like it feels like you shouldn't be there. You're like watching somebody's lives falling apart. You're like, oh, I really shouldn't be here.
Ooh,
I'm
that's
just
what I
gonna go
like.
read a book and ignore mom and dad fighting, and it's just fucking awful. But yeah, it's great. Highly recommend it for anyone that likes that sort of thing. And I feel like the TV version will be interesting to see exactly what they cut out because this version's almost 3 hours long, so they basically cut out 2 hours to fit into a cinematic format. So be interesting.
Motherfucker, this it's not anywhere the TV miniseries. Wait, no, hold on. It says Criterion. Hold on. Let me check the Criterion app and see. Because if it is, holy shit, that's going to be the. Oh, wait, hold on. I'm dumb. I'm looking at the streaming folder on my phone and I'm like, wait a minute, the Criterion channel's not there. What the hell? And then I remembered that as a joke, I put the Criterion channel in its own folder called Kino. So good job. I tricked myself on that one. Oh, hell yes. All 6 episodes are there. Yes. God bless the Criterion channel every single day of my life. I don't know when I'm going to watch that. You know, it's been long enough since I've seen Kramer versus Kramer, so I may be willing to watch something again that reminds me that Love is Dead out of 10.
Never heard of that movie. I'm gonna have to look that up.
Oh, Kramer versus Kramer?
No, I haven't. No.
Oh,
So
no, no. Yeah, Kramer versus Kramer just reminds you that your parents never loved each other in the first place,
perfect.
and it was right for them to leave each other.
Perfect. Fantastic. All right.
Wait,
It's
have
an
you
eight
seen
out of.
Marriage Story?
No, not yet. That's on my list too.
Okay, yeah. If you just back to back those two, you're just like, wow, huh? Maybe being alone is the right idea.
Perfect. It's an 8 out of 10 for me. Definitely could go up after the TV series though, so we'll see. All right, I still got a lot left. What can I do next? Let's do. Let's talk about Sorry to Bother You.
Okay, okay.
Um,
Oh, all right, yeah,
yeah. Uh, uh, I mean, there's a scene I want to talk about.
yeah.
I can't talk about it,
I mean, you
but it's
could.
really.
It's just
I mean, I
spoilers.
can. I can't say it. But it's funny. It's funny though. It's really fucking funny. Yeah, this movie's great though. Honestly, I was not expecting to enjoy this movie half as much as I did, but man, it's just funny as shit. Really unique too. It's a comedian rapper that I guess that made this. It's his first movie, Boots something or other, Boots
Boots
Riley,
Riley.
I think. Boots Riley, yeah. So I'll be interested to see what he does next. But this was great. Like very unique movie. Like it just
The
there are parts.
energy.
Yeah, just there's an energy to this movie, and the lead actor in this movie, I can't think of his name now. It's Lakeel something, I think.
Lakeith
Oh,
Stanfield.
yes, yes. I like him a lot, man. He's in a lot of good shit, a lot of
Yes.
Kino shit. He's in a smaller role in Uncut Gems, but he's great in that too.
Yes.
And yeah, man, I like him a lot, and he's fantastic in this. I don't know. I wasn't expecting something so weird and quirky and somehow just funny as shit. This was great.
Sorry to Bother You is just something I remember seeing the trailers for. I'm like, that's going to be real funny. I guess I'll get to watch it later. And I think I watched it maybe about 2 years ago. And I just remember sitting down and finally watching it. And I'm like, yeah, this is really funny. And then at some point, the movie takes a turn. And you're like, I didn't know we were going here. Everything's so brand new here. I'm a little scared. Is there a payphone so I can call my mother to help me? Um, I feel like that is enough that I want to say, and even that may have been too much. But shall we go into spoilers now? Do you want to count it down?
Yeah, let's do that. So spoilers for Sorry to Bother You coming now. 3, 2, 1. My God, those horse people have giant fucking schlongs.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I mean, fuck the. First of all,
the
the
horse
ending of this.
people.
Yeah, the ending of this movie is hilarious. Just how he fucking randomly turns into the horse person at the end. I'm like, oh, that's amazing. Um, yeah, I mean, by the way, Arnie Hammer, like, I mean, I actually believe he's not acting. I think this is just real. Like, along they just
They
hide the
went to go
parts where
film
he's
in
like,
his house.
yeah, they're just hiding the parts where he's like eating people as well. But like, I think this is like completely accurate to his character. Uh,
You mean accurate to him as a person?
accurate to him as a person, yes, this character. But yeah, I don't know. Fuck, this movie is so weird, but I loved it.
Oh, but yeah, I forget. It's been so long since I watched it, but I forget what the racial allegory is. Is it basically that black people are getting co-opted by? It's basically Get Out, but done way better, right?
Yeah, it Get Out, but it's like that's actually a really good. I saw somebody mention that, and it feels like a more funny, just I don't know, fun version of Get Out, and I loved it. Yeah, it's exactly what it is though.
Hold on. I just remembered him rapping, and he just says the N word over and over again. And I just repeat it back to him.
That's the scene I was talking about.
Oh my god, that
Yeah.
scene is
Oh my god.
gold. All of
Well,
them are just like, yeah, this is rap. We can say it. It's like, this is great. Oh my god.
it's well, we're in spoilers now, but yeah, the scene is basically like he's
No,
he's
it's N-word shit. It's N-word shit. Oh my god. Okay,
yeah.
it's clicking in my brain.
So Arnie Hammer's just like, hey, can you rap like for these people? And he's like, no, I can't rap. I don't know how to rap. I'm a bad rapper.
And then Army Hammer's just like, well,
Not
you're
a
black. Of course you do.
yeah, he's like, no, not all black people can rap. He's like, no, just rap for us. So he gets up there and he starts trying to rap, and he's doing a terrible job. And there's just this entire group of like white people just looking at him, and it's so awkward. And then finally, he just starts screaming out Edward shit, Edward shit, Edward shit, and they start screaming it back. It's fucking ridiculous, but it's so funny. Oh my
I
god.
love that scene. That scene, honestly, every single
Oh,
time that I see it pop up, either on Twitter or Facebook or anywhere, every time I see it, it fucking makes me laugh because I'm just like, this is. I hate how probably accurate this
oh yeah,
is. I
oh yeah.
hate how there's probably a subsection of people who are just like, I heard the N word in the rap song, so I really like it now. It's like, ah. But yeah, oh my god, man, that scene is great. Now that I've made the connection of Get Out, but good or better, I'm gonna say better because Get Out is still good. It's just that I have my problems with the fact that it doesn't get better than what it is. Uh, but yeah, uh, man, call. I was about to say, call me by your name. Sorry to bother you is so damn fun, and it's also such a very good cutting satire. And eventually, seeing that they turn into horses, I assume that's basically a metaphor for them being workhorses. I don't know. It's been 2 years since I've seen it. I don't really remember that much.
That sounds right. Honestly, I think that's pretty accurate. But yeah, just a great overall movie. It's so unique, and I mean, if you're not, if anyone can really watch this, it's great stuff. So it's enjoyable. I loved it.
No, that's the thing. Don't be a pussy. You can watch this one. Like honestly, I would imagine that this would be a movie that if it were bigger, it would get the guy with a hat sitting in his car recording like a rant about it
Yeah,
treatment.
absolutely.
But like that's what I mean. Like if you have those people pissed off, they're probably little pussies about watching most shit. It's just like, I want to watch Tim Allen's Man of the House. Like that's what I want to watch. Like whatever, shut up. It's fine. You can have movies that politically disagree with you, but as long as they're entertaining, that's all that matters. And yeah, this movie's damn entertaining.
Exactly. Exactly. No, I completely agree. So
So this is gonna be an N-word shit out of 10.
it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Great movie. Loved it. All right, let's keep chipping it down. Following. So I watched Following, Christopher Nolan's first film, his first feature
Simp.
film.
Simp.
It's yeah. I literally paid $38 for this fucking hour and 10-minute movie just to have it on
Simp.
Criterion. So yeah, there's no bigger simp than me. Look, it's humble. Have you seen this by the way or no? I forget.
No, I have not. I
No.
don't
Okay.
honestly, whenever I close the loop on Nolan, I will not be counting the following.
Fair enough. Yeah, look, humble beginnings for Nolan. It's definitely very early on in his career. I mean, he literally made this movie for $6,000. So, I mean, that's what you have to expect, a movie that's made for $6,000. But it's good. I really enjoy it. I listened to the director's commentary this time because I've seen it a couple times before, and it was very insightful. God Emperor Nolan was very gracious with his time and explaining everything he did, and it was very enjoyable. Also on the Criterion, there was a short of his from film school called Doodlebug. Absolute
Doodlebug.
masterpiece. Absolute
I-
masterpiece. It shows where Nolan is going to go with his career. It's actually not very good. I'm just memeing, but yeah, it was very interesting. And following. I mean, I don't really have much more to say. It's his first film. It's good. It's got some Hitchcockian vibes to it. I don't expect anything amazing out of it, but I mean, I'd watch it if you have a way to watch it for free. So
Hold on. Following is on the Criterion Collection. It's an hour 10. Uh, okay, maybe. I wrote it off very quickly. I kind of thought that I'd have to put in effort to find it, but it is on the Criterion channel. Also, I feel like this may be a spoiler. No, I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it, but there's a different edit that's there that reminds me, oh, yeah, Nolan did this, huh?
yeah,
Um, yeah,
I know what you mean.
okay, cool. I don't want to accidentally spoil it because there's a different movie that has that same thing, and I would consider
Yeah,
that a spoiler for that. So,
yeah.
okay, I'm going to give following a the Criterion thinks that Nolan peaked with his first movie out of 10.
It's a 7 out of 10 for me. Good stuff. All right,
How many you
still
got
got
left?
12 left. We'll keep
12.
going.
Fuck. Keep going.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna put this here now, and I'm gonna explain why. And I'm not gonna spend long on it, and I'll also explain why. So I
Mm.
watched The Godfather Part One and Part Two,
Oh. Oh.
and here's the thing: I feel like it's a disservice to try talk about The
Yes.
Godfather
Correct.
in like 10
Who the
minutes and
fuck are
rush
we?
through it.
Who are we?
Yeah, it is. So it's the kind of thing where you either just have to cliff note it and mention it quickly and just, very briefly talk about it, or you need to go into depth. And obviously, we don't have time to go into depth. But
Mhm.
I mean, what is there else to say about The Godfather? They're masterpieces. I got the 4K cuts, put them in the steelbooks. They're fantastic. Visually, they look incredible on 4K. It's easily the best this movie's ever looked. And yeah, it's just The Godfather, man. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know if there's a more important film in cinema history than The Godfather. Probably, maybe a couple,
Citizen
but
Kane would be literally
Citizen,
maybe the only one of them.
yeah, Citizen Kane. That's probably it. Like, there's just not. When you think of movies, you think a lot of people think of The Godfather,
Yeah.
and they're both basically masterpieces at what they do. They're impeccably acted, and they're as close to perfect movies as you can get. So, I mean, it's The Godfather.
That's literally all. Look, hold on. Look, I'm just gonna take long pauses in between my words just so the timestamp for The Godfather doesn't look too short compared to the rest of the topics. I'm literally wasting time right now, but I just want to make sure that the timestamp for Godfather looks a lot nicer than it is. It's the fucking Godfather 1 and 2. There's nothing I could say or Addi could say that would tell you what the Godfather is. What the fuck is wrong with you? Just watch the Godfather. Like that's it. I'm not going to say anything else. Anything else would be a disrespect to just knowing that the Godfather is what the fuck the Godfather is. The Godfather 1 and 2, Godfather, both of them. Kino out of 10. Nothing. We're not adding anything here for there.
Yeah, we're done. Keynote at 10. Okay. Moving on. What do we talk about next? Fuck me. Let's talk about West Side Story.
Okay.
I liked it actually a lot more than I expected to. It surpassed my expectations, and
Wait,
it's
original or
actually
remake?
remake.
Okay.
It's actually one of my favorite movies of 2021. It's just out of the top 10 now, but it's close, and I really enjoyed it. I might just be a sucker for the Romeo and Juliet story, honestly. Like, I really do like that. Like, there's something about it that's just so timeless, and when it's done even just well enough, it's good. It's tragedy. It's tragic. I
It's
don't know.
gone on for about 600 years now. So, like, I think
There,
at this point, it might just be one of the goated stories.
yeah, there's a reason for it, man. It's just really well made, and this is a good adaptation of it. Steven Spielberg, he put some nice direction to this. There's good music. There's great set design, great pieces. The music's really good. I mean, it's West Side Story, though. If you've seen the original, you don't really need to see this, but I enjoyed it, and I thought it was a lot of fun. I will say, and here's the hot take: Ansel Elgort.
Mhm.
Um, I
Either
like
one.
him. I like him. I don't know. He gets a lot of hate. This is, I think, only the second thing I've actually seen him in now. I think he's fine in this. Did he get a Best Actor for this role? No, but it's the same thing as Baby Driver. He was a perfectly competent lead, and everyone calls him a charisma vacuum, and I just don't see him, man. I like him.
Now, part of me is thinking that the only two movies that I would give him a shot in is going to be what Baby Driver and West Side Story, and both of those are made by directors that are like they can just spin gold out of anything. So it's like, okay, you know what? Maybe unfair there. The only other touchstone that I have is just The Fault in Our Stars, and well, I already said my piece about that in the last episode. So part of me is thinking, what if I just watched the movie that it was him not working with one of the best directors ever? So I will still hold that anytime I look at Ansel Elgort, I need sunglasses on him because if not, it's just going to feel like slowly he's dementoring my soul out of me. There's just something about his eyes where I'm like, yeah, I'm fine. Um, yeah, I actually kind of considered watching this, but also I was like, yeah, if I want to watch a musical again, I kind of want to watch Tick Tick Boom again to see if I actually really do think it's one of my favorite movies of all time. So West Side Story is getting dicked because of that, but also I think I would want to watch the original one before I want to watch the remake because I want to see where I stand on if the remake improves or if it might be better to go back to the old one. Maybe it's like, oh yeah, this is still good, but like the original one you can't really touch. So yeah, I this feels like I want to do this, but also at the end of the day, Funny Games and Suspiria are also over there, and I said I want to watch the original ones before I watch those remakes as well. So who the fuck knows whenever the hell I'm actually going to do anything I say out of 10.
Yeah, that's actually interesting and a good call for watching the originals over the remakes. Although it's interesting, I prefer the originals for both of those movies. I'm kind of biased towards remakes, though. I mean, you know this,
And you're
but
biased against, you mean?
biased against remakes.
Okay.
But although Funny Games in particular is an interesting one because it's literally the exact same movie made by the exact same director. So that one's kind of a unique situation. I still prefer the original, but I can kind of understand that one a little bit more because he
Hmm.
just wanted to do it for an American audience with a different cast. At least it's the same director, right? But that funny enough, that's the next movie I'll be watching in the my Criterion watch through. So we'll talk about that more next. Well, I'll talk about that more next week.
Wait, which one?
Funny Games.
Funny Games? Okay, I'll try and see if I can make it a
Yeah,
point to
I don't know if
watch
it's
it.
streaming anywhere, but if it is, then we can partner up on that one. But yeah,
Wait, hold on. Which
anyways,
one are you watching again? The original or the remake?
original Funny Games.
Okay, Funny Games. Now,
Yeah, see if it's on Criterion. Might be on the Criterion
yeesh.
channel. Hopefully,
Wait, oh, seriously, it's a decade apart? Fuck, okay, that's
yes,
solid.
yeah.
Yay! It is on the Criterion
All right,
channel.
there we go.
We
That sounds like an easy one then.
shit. Okay, all right. Hold on. We're pausing this.
Well,
Okay.
I think we were good there. So.
Okay, continue.
All right, so next up, a ghost story.
Hmm.
Um, so this is from the same director as The Green Knight. I believe David Lowery is his name.
Hmm.
This is his. I don't know if it's his first film, but one that preludes it, anyways.
I will
Uh,
check.
th- this was good though. It was horribly depressing, but good stuff. I liked it.
If you
It
get
definitely.
Casey Anthony in your movie, you know what you're doing.
Oh yeah, exactly. And then you've got Runa Mari, which I love her so much in a very bonkable way too. But she's a great actress as well. And yeah, this is just really, again, you're kind of looking at grief in this movie, and you're looking at it through a completely different lens. It's unique in that perspective. There's a little bit too much downtime sometimes. It's a little bit slow at points. So it's definitely, for me, it's not as good as The Green Knight was, but it's a good kind of, okay, like this is kind of his setup for it, and just getting some films under his belt. And The Green Knight just seems like such an epic compared to this. And it was one of my favorite movies of last year, obviously. But this is good. This was really enjoyable. Definitely glad I watched it. Some good performances by everyone involved here. And yeah, if you just want something like super, super depressing, and another reason why, kind of this also fits in the vein of like why love should never happen and work. This could probably fit here too. So good stuff.
Okay, I looked, and there is one movie that literally only 6 people have logged on Letterboxd. So let's not even account that movie. That movie no longer exists. There's one feature-length movie from 2009 called Saint Nick that he did that at least a couple more people watched. So it feels like, yeah, you know what, we'll count that one. But yeah, it would be Saint Nick. And then it would be Pete's Dragon in
Oh yeah, I forgot he
2016.
did that. Right. Okay.
Yeah, it makes. Wait, no, hold on. There's another one. Ain't Them Bodies Saints in 2013. That
Nice.
one,
He's using a
oh,
lot.
that one also had Rooney Mara and Casey Affleck. Good for him. Okay, sick.
Good.
Um,
Yeah, I didn't know he'd done so much. Interesting.
okay, so one, two, three, fourth. A Ghost Story is his fourth movie. So yeah, okay. You know what, David Lowery out here doing stuff. So a Ghost Story. I do want to watch this. Black and white. Wait, no, it's not black and white. It's
It's
only
not black.
4:3, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So 4:3. I do want to watch this movie. I just don't know when I will. I don't think it's streaming anywhere. It's just one of those movies that's like, oh, A24 put it out. Yeah, sure, I'll get to it eventually. Oh, it's a director that A24 likes. Yes, absolutely, I will do that. So yeah, who knows when the hell I want to watch this? But yes, depressing shit. Yeah, sure, I'm in. Out of 10.
Yeah, that's how I feel too. It's a 7 out of 10. Good movie. Enjoyed
Mhm.
it.
All right.
Okay, you said you had 5 left ages ago.
Yes, I mean that's
Okay,
the
I've
limit.
I've 8. We're almost there.
Yay.
Um, all right, let's do Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas next.
Mm.
Um, I mean, this is just a classic movie, man. More Terry Gilliam Kino. I think it's Johnny Depp's best performance. I really do. He just completely loses himself in this role. I mean, here's the thing with Fear and Loathing. There's a plot, but it's really not that important. It's more just about this drug fueled adventure that these guys go on, where you kind of question like what the fuck is actually happening and what's just a side effect of the drugs.
Mm.
And yeah, man, it's wild. At times, I felt like I was watching a David Lynch movie, which is like a compliment to Terry Gilliam because yeah, like I mean, there's not a lot of people that can pull off those kind of vibes and that kind of weirdness, but he definitely does in this movie, and it's just bizarre and just a fun movie to watch. And yeah, I don't know, it's great. I like it.
Man, who the hell knows? Like that's the thing. Terry Gilliam, I've literally watched Brazil for the first time. What, last year? So
Yeah.
like Terry Gilliam is just a complete question mark for me. Fear and Loathing, I assume, is just one that I need to get to because Johnny Depp is was on that list that I had Tom Cruise in, which was just unbiased, unbiased bias against him. So wait, no. Unsubstantiated. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Unsubstantiated bias against him, where it's like I just don't like you, and I think that might stem from not liking Tim Burton. So, um, I need to give Johnny Depp a chance to see what he can do. I mean, so far I've given Pirates and I've given Rango shots. So, you know what? Fear and Loathing might be the first one where I need to give him even a harder shot. When the hell am I going to do it? I don't know. That's the exact running theme of the entire fucking episode. When will I do this?
Yeah, Fear and Loathing and Ed Wood are the two movies I would say that like you could watch of Johnny Depp's and see actually some talent there, and some really good performances. So those would be the two I would recommend for sure.
Mm, mm, mm. Now, uh, Johnny Depp, I will give you a shot out of 10. That's what it's going to be.
All right, it's an 8 out of 10 for me. Great movie.
Mm.
Okay, we'll talk about the Florida Project next.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
This is from the same director as Red Rocket. Sean Baker, I think, is his name. So I didn't know that until actually after I'd watched it. But yeah, so this was my contractually obligated last movie to Moki from the PP Discord for finding me that great Steelbook, which I now proudly own and have in my collection.
It still feels
And yeah,
so weird the fact that the Passive Pixels Discord is an actual place.
yeah, it's hell on earth. Don't go there. But
And there are worse hells. It's still hell, but like there are worse hells. It's like the
that's
first circle, and then
true.
there's a couple of deeper circles if you want to do
That's
it.
true. It's not that bad.
Mm.
But yeah, I like this. This movie is actually really great, and it actually surpassed my expectations. Especially because like in the first 10 minutes, it's literally nothing but screaming children being brats, and I was like, oh god, I'm actually going to kill myself. Like this is how it all ends. Thankfully, it actually really it's a great movie, and it's basically exploring. I mean, it's almost like so. I ripped this off from Letterboxd shamelessly from
Mm.
somebody, but it's almost. I think it was Alexis. I think Alexis put this. So shout out to Alexis if this was you. You won't listen to this,
Mm.
but shout out to you nonetheless. He basically said this is My Neighbor Totoro for adults, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? It works. It really does work.
Whoa.
Um, it really does work. I get that because it's basically kids just having their own adventure while all these adult lives are falling apart and trying to keep shit together. And it's good. I liked it. And
My
this is
neighbor
like,
Totoro, if it took place in Florida, is what he put.
yeah, okay, there you go. That too. So
Shout out to Alexis. Fuck, that's actually wow. Okay, that.
yeah, yeah, no, it's great. And I totally agree with that. Uh, what I also like about this movie too is it's the first time I really feel in a long time that we've got William Dafoe. You know, I love William Dafoe, amazing actor, but he's legitimately playing William DeFriend. It finally happened. The meme
Willem.
happened. He's
Willem. Willem.
Willem DeFriend.
There you
And
go.
it's so great to see him finally get to play the wholesome guy who's just trying to help people out and be a good guy. And yeah, he's fantastic in this movie. I loved his performance in this movie. And then everyone else, like they're all a lot of unknown actors in this movie. So I guess like 99% of the budget went to Defoe. But yeah, no, it's really really strong movie. I know you watched that one movie of his that you didn't like.
Tangerine.
Yeah, Tangerine. So I don't think I'll watch that one. But this one definitely has me more interested in Red Rocket now, which has a lot of praise and hype. So I'll definitely have to get to that soon.
Everyone, I just keep saying that I'm gonna close the loop on directors, and I just never come back to it, dude. Elden Ring was so destructive on my life and my plans, like it really was. But yeah, Tangerine, totally watched Tangerine, and no, Florida Project. I was gonna watch Florida Project, but then I think Tangerine just kind of soured me for a little bit. I'm like, I'm gonna give this a little bit more time. But yeah, Florida Project. You know what's going to just end up happening? The next episode is just going to be me looking at the movies you mentioned in this episode, and I'm just going to watch them, and then the next episode is going to be me with one episode behind of every single topic. Yeah, I want to watch the Florida Project. That description is like, oh wow, okay, that's not what I would have expected. I kind of thought it would just been kids being. Well, actually, no, that is what I thought the movie was going to be. Well, not Neighbor Totoro, but like my brain thought this movie was just going to be kids doing shit while things are bad around them and they don't realize it because they're kids. But yeah, I want to watch this out of 10.
8 out of 10 for me. Very strong movie, and actually, I mean, 2017 is a ridiculous year for film, but it ended up placing it pretty high on my list. I think it was like 11 or 12. So good for it. Good movie.
Nice, nice, nice.
Uh, all right, last one, and then I think we can finally go back and forth for a bit.
Jesus Christ.
Repulsion. Let's talk about Repulsion. So this is from Roman Polanski, and
Oh,
I
that
mean,
dude. That
yeah,
fucking
that dude, that fucking dude. And I mean, this is the ultimate. You need to separate art from artist exercise, and watching Roman
Challenge
Polanski do it.
impossible.
Yeah, challenge. Yeah, for some people, it absolutely is, and I don't blame them. I can do it. It's just I have to ignore it. I love this movie though. It's really great. It's a real slow burn, and it's if My favorite, like I think you've said this too, and I agree with it. Is that my favorite? Like the best horror movies are disguised as other things. They're never just a horror movie. There's always other elements to them, and they introduce other things. And Repulsion is basically just a story of a fragile girl who's sexually repressed and losing her fucking mind, very slowly but surely. And it's horrifying to watch. It's absolutely one of the toughest movies to watch that I've seen in a while. And just watching her slowly mental state deteriorating and shit getting weirder and weirder, and it breaks my heart. And they really did a good job with it. There's not a lot of jump scares in this. Like, it's not a typical horror movie. There's like maybe, there's a couple of moments that kind of startled me and got me a little bit, but it's just absolutely an outstanding film. And I haven't seen a ton of Polanski, but definitely got to rank high up there. It's his sophomore film. I think it's his second movie he ever did, and a really big accomplishment for that. So I loved
I have not dipped my toe into Roman Polanski, although I'm pretty sure he would like to dip his toe in me. Wait, I'm not that young enough anymore. Never mind.
it.
Um, I want to watch Rosemary's Baby. I feel like that feels like a good place to start, although not really, because I imagine that it would outclass almost everything else that he did. Wait a minute. No, I watched Chinatown. Never mind. Never mind. Fuck you, Roman Polanski. You make good movies. Can you just stop touching children? Please, 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 please. Wait a minute. You did The Pianist? Fuck. Ah, damn
Yeah,
it,
he
Roman
makes good
Polanski.
movies.
Yeah, can you just not, please? God damn it. Okay, yeah, Repulsion. Who the fuck knows? Out of 10.
It's an 8 out of 10 for me. I'm kind of weird with my horror movies. I typically don't give them super high scores. Just that's me. I don't know. It's just a genre that can be very hit or miss for me. But that is one of my favorite horror movies of all time. So good stuff. And yeah, I think we're down to one. Hold on, let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So if you want to go, go.
Okay, what do I have? All right, you know what? We're gonna get Y tu mamá también out of the way. Um, this is not what I expected. Y tu mamá también. So I don't remember how the hell this movie got into my house when it actually came out. It was like 2001, 2002, maybe in 2003, because I don't remember when we got an actual DVD player. My parents would, well, not even my parents, my dad would rent movies from Blockbuster and we'd watch them. And I don't remember when Y tu mamá también just showed up in the house at one point. And the funny thing is, the only memory that stuck with me in that movie was just both kids laying on diving boards and masturbating, and then a shot of the cum shot hitting the pool. And I was just like, I don't really understand what's going on as a kid, but I don't really know what's going on. And it wasn't until later on that I like, you get old enough, you start remembering things. You're like, oh, that's really fucking weird. Why? And then now watching it again, that scene was still like, yeah, this is kind of weird, but like the movie is all about teenagers and basically how horny they are, but also it's this weird portrait of Mexico during that time. It's also a portrait of growing up, friendship, love, lust, and it all works. I kind of was surprised that a lot of the subject matter just felt a lot like smutty. Like I feel like that's the right word to use. Like it just feels like it's just God, I feel like such an old person saying smut, and then the next word I want to use is titillation. Like it just feels like the movie just wants to sexually excite you, but it feels weird that the movie never feels like it's doing that without a point. It feels like it wants to do that because that's honestly how these teen kids are seeing the world. And honestly, you remember being a teenager. It feels a lot like that. So, Y tu mamá también is something that is very quiet about a snapshot of a time in life, and then you realize at some point that it's not only just teenagers. There's a couple of things I could go into spoilers for, but I don't think you've seen this one, so I'm not going to do that. But there is an extra layer to this that is growing up and seeing what the end of growing up is like. That is a layer I didn't expect in this movie. And I feel like that's pretty much how I can talk about Y tu mamá también. It's something that I did not expect. And here's the thing, the movie is called "Y tu mamá también." Like the movie literally translate to "and your mom too." Like anytime I think about this movie, it sounds like it'd be an insult. Like it would be like two people talking like, "Ah, fuck your mom too." Like it sounds like that to me whenever I see the title. So it kind of fits perfectly with that like adolescence angle to it. And I that's the thing. I don't think there's anything in the movie that points to why it would be called "Y tu mamá también." So that just feels like the perfect thing to let me think, okay, well, the movie is it's kind of trying to put itself in that youthful state. No, wait, you have watched the movie. Never mind, I just pulled it up. Okay, I think you said you were going to watch it again. Okay, whatever. Well, that means I'll go into spoilers a little bit then. But yeah, "Y tu mamá también" is something that I didn't expect it to hit as hard as it did. And once it got to the end, I was like, shit, that was actually a really fucking good movie. So I toss it to you before we end up going to spoilers.
So a couple things here. First of all, I just want to give you the white person pronouncing this movie. It's actually Y to Mama Tambien. That's how you're supposed to say it. I'm sorry, you're wrong. It's Y to Mama Tambien. Okay. Anyways, Y to Mama
What is
Tambien.
mansplaining but racial?
Yeah. Oh man. But yeah, okay. Funny enough, so actually, so I have seen this movie. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna be honest with you though, I don't remember jack shit. So
Oh,
like
okay.
that's I need a rewatch of it. I do remember really enjoying it, and I
Mm.
remember bits and pieces of it. But yeah, like I'll be useless in a spoiler discussion. So if you want to go spoilers, you still can. But this is definitely one I need to rewatch because I don't remember shit. The only thing I remember, I think, is kind of a spoiler. So if you want a spoiler countdown, then I can mention this funny joke I have. And that's it.
Okay, so that's the thing. I leave it up to you. Do you want me to talk spoilers, or do you want to go into this movie as freely as you can?
I'd like to go into it freely, but I also want to tell this joke. So can we still do spoilers for a second?
Yeah, yeah, no, no. You will do the
Okay.
spoilers. I will abstain, and then we'll talk about it when you watch it. So you count it down.
Okay. So here we go. Three, two, one. If I remember correctly, I seem to remember basically like the boys in this movie fucking or something happens between them. And I still remember this funny meme that somebody was pissed off that Harry Potter wasn't more like this, and that fucking Harry and Ron didn't end up fucking. I don't know why that memory sticks in my head, but that's literally all I can fucking remember right now.
Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Um, ye fuck, that's really good. He did do. Oh my god.
Yeah, because he does
Fuck.
do he
Yeah,
does the
he
Prisoner of
does.
Azkaban.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alfonso Cuarón did direct both of these
yeah.
movies. Oh
Yeah.
god. Okay. Y tu mamá
uh,
también is gonna be okay, hold on. What is it? Charolastras out of 10. It's gonna be a Charolastras out of 10.
this is my out of 10. I'll get to it eventually because I really want to rewatch this and I would like to talk more about it. But it's not streaming anywhere in Canada but Apple, and I'm not giving Apple my money. And I
Now
would
hold on. Do you guys have a Criterion channel out there or no?
we do. It's not in our Criterion channel though.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Oh, you would think the Criterion channel would be the one that would be able to bridge past that.
Here's the funny thing too though. I can't even get this Criterion in Canada. So I don't
What?
know. It must be a licensing issue. I can order it directly from the Criterion website. So I could order it like I could import it from America, but all the Canadian sources for it, you can't get this on Criterion. So I'm assuming there's some sort of like licensing thing in it because I would legitimately probably blind buy this because I want this, but I'm not going to pay the import charges and stuff like that the Criterion charges. So it sucks. Hopefully, it goes streaming somewhere too because I do want to watch this again. But yeah,
I thought I was joking when I told you that NAFTA has failed us, but no, it actually
no,
failed us. What the fuck?
yeah, this one's fucked. So it sucks,
Alfonso
but
Cuarón, please talk to your government. Please.
yeah, no shit. But yeah, it is. I did off of memory. I give it an 8 out of 10. But that's a very. I should honestly remove that rating because I don't remember enough about it to really properly rate it. So definitely a rewatch in order on that one.
But yes, this movie is great, and the ending hits harder than I expected. Yeah, but I already gave my score. You already have
Yeah,
your score, so back to you.
yeah. Let's move on. What next? Okay, let's talk about Fresh.
Okay.
This was really fun and unexpected. I enjoyed this movie quite a bit. I actually, so I could block these two movies together. I won't since we're going back and forth now. But I watched this like a couple of days before X, and I'll talk about X in a bit. But I actually ended up enjoying Fresh a little bit more than X. It's a fucking like, Stars original movie or Hulu original movie. I don't know, one of the fucking two. So I had very low expectations. The only reason I had even heard of this fucking movie was the resident clown of the PP Discord, Mac. Shout out to Mac, our
God.
clown friend.
It has been canonized now.
Yes, he is 100% the village clown. He gave this a 4 out of 5. So I was like, "Oh, okay." I mean that doesn't mean it's going to be
That doesn't mean
great,
anything.
but no, it doesn't. But I was like, "You know what? I want to check it out now because that's at least something because I had no expectations otherwise." And all I'll say about this is I refuse to really talk about anymore because I don't know if you'll ever end up watching this, maybe one day. But even for people listening to this, this is the type of movie you literally can't know anything about. If you know anything about the twists that are coming in this movie, it will ruin it for you. So the less you know, the better. Do not watch a trailer. Do not look up at a description. Don't figure out anything about this movie. The only thing I
Okay.
will say is there's one thing in this movie that not enough movies do that's really fucking cool. And again, it sucks that sounds so vague because I can't say anymore without spoilers. But there's like a certain what do you like a filmmaking trick, I guess is what I'll say.
Technique.
A technique, yeah, that not nearly enough movies do and pull off well enough, I think. And this does it in spades. And when it happened, I was like, oh yeah, I did like the Leo pointing me. I'm like, there it is. That's awesome. So
Can you
really fun
do the
movie.
10 seconds just to say it because I'm curious and I don't mind if it's spoiled for me?
Okay, it's not a massive spoiler, but some people could get upset, so I am going to do a spoiler thing here. 10-second spoiler. Fast forward 10 seconds. Now, the credit they don't roll the opening credits until 30 minutes in. So yeah, that's cool. Duh, 10 seconds. So yeah, really good stuff.
That's 10 seconds. Yep, there we go. Okay, that's fucking awesome. Big fan of that. Okay, the problem is I already pulled it up on Letterbox and I read the description and the sentence "produce section meat cute." Um, that's a pun. That is a pun. Produce section meat cute. I'm assuming that we can take meat as meat, meeting and then eating meat. That's a pun to me. There's something about that that makes me want to respect it because it reminds me of 22 Jump Street and their meet cute pun. So I'm not gonna say I'm gonna watch this. I'm just gonna add this to my watch later and then never think about it again. It feels good to have it on there. Fuck you, Clown Mac. You got one. You did it again. I can't wait to be disappointed.
Yeah, so I'll end it there. Don't want to say anymore. 7 out of 10. Good movie.
Hulu's gonna have garbage streaming for this exclusive out of 10.
There you go. Moving on. Oh, it was on Disney Plus in Canada, so shout out to Disney Plus.
Wow, of course it'd be. Yeah, you'd be watching it better. Okay, back to me. The Handmaiden. Who boy?
Oh, yeah, we're both in on this one. Let's go.
Who boy? Well, that movie was horny, huh?
Yeah, my only note for this movie is Bonk Bonk City, yo.
Yeah. Honestly, it felt like okay, yeah, this is fine. This is in service in the story, and then I think there is literally one scene where I was like,
I know.
that just felt really indulgent. Like that.
Yeah,
That was no. Everything else you can totally have enough
yeah,
plausible deniability of like, yeah, okay. Okay, you know what? Actually, this is going to be so hard to talk without spoilers. So do we? Let's just talk vaguely, okay?
yeah,
The Handmaiden. I recommend it. It's a good movie. Just know that if you watch it with other people, make sure that it's cool people, because if not, it's going to get really weird at some point.
yeah. I don't know if I'd watch it with anyone else. Like I said, like he said, unless it's somebody you really know. But I really love this movie. Big recommend from me.
Okay, yeah, you like it way more than I do, but we'll talk about that. So 3, 2, a 1. There's enough backstabs in this movie that it would make Ocelot from Metal Gear think even I would have betrayed that many people. There's like
Metal
what
Gear.
3 or 4 fucking twists in this movie
Yeah.
that like 3 or 4 reversals where it's like, oh wait, so okay, we've got the one where we realize, oh, the girl is being scammed out of her money by marrying this guy. Oh wait, now the 2 girls are scamming him. Wait, no, hold on. We forget the original betrayal of the
Yeah, the
fact
original
that
betrayal.
she's trying to betray the her uncle. So we got 3 betrayals already, and then we have a 4th betrayal of. Wait, no, is there a 4th betrayal?
The
Wait, no, we can count the suit man betraying the uncle, right? We can
Oh
count
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Sure,
yeah.
fuck
There
it.
you go. So yeah, there's
Yeah,
four.
okay. It's okay. 4 reversals. And it's like Jesus Christ, this movie doesn't fucking stop. Um, Honestly, I feel like this is just way more of a plot-centered movie because all the characters, like, yeah, you're characters. I don't know if I really care about any of you. I feel like movie is just carried so much by the plot that I'm like, I don't
Oh, I
really
agree.
care. Like, that's not a knock. Like, that's an
I agree.
observation.
They're all kind of I don't want to say shitty people, but they're all not great people.
I
So
mean, yeah.
yeah, it's not like Succession where they're all just absolute scumbags. But I don't know. None of these people are very good people. They're all kind of out for themselves and doing their own things, and they end up twisting and turning, like you said, like the first one, the big first one at the end of Act One. That one really got me. It's like, oh shit, what's going on here? And then it just kind of keeps twisting and turning around. And I don't know, it's just so well made. It's very horny, very, very, very
Yeah.
horny at times. But I don't know. I actually enjoyed this more than Old Boy. Even same director as Old Boy, Park Chan Wook. And
Oh.
yeah, it's great. I liked it a lot.
Okay, so we're probably in agreement that the bell scene was too much.
The bell scene.
The sex scene with the bells at the end.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I was distracted during that.
I just felt like that one was like almost too much because it's like, okay, all the other times, you know what, the girl is completely innocent. Well, I mean, not really. You find out later, but like, oh, okay, she's innocent, so sure. Long indulgent sex scene, sure, fine, whatever. Okay, you know what? She's completely new to this. Okay, we're not gonna even question it. And then the second time that it goes around, the sex scenes are shorter because you at this point know that she's in on the whole thing. So it's like, okay, yeah, fine. I guess it's no problem that the scenes are a lot shorter here. But the bell scene, I was like, okay, so if this is supposed to be a callback for all the sex stories that she was reading those guys, which honestly, we might have to talk about those guys. The the fucking guys who were just paying to hear a woman read out porn, which is okay, so the bells thing, it feels like, okay, out of all the stories she was reading, for some reason, this is the one that it is? Like, I don't understand why the bells one is the one that actually got the, yeah, we need to show this actually on screen. So I don't really understand, man, why they needed to do that.
yeah, it was a lot. It was a lot. I want to compare this to another movie. I'm just trying to think if it's a big enough spoiler. It probably is. You'll okay. I'll just say this without saying the movie. If you end up going through Lynch's catalog, you'll end up knowing what I'm talking about sooner rather than later. And it reminded me a lot of that. It's one particularly indulgent scene in a certain movie. And I'll leave it there. But this specifically, it was definitely too much. A little bit. I think everything else, like you said, it's fine. There's not an issue. You can definitely explain it a bunch of different ways. I mean, maybe he just showed up to set one day. It was like, yo, I'm horny. Let's just fucking do this. And if that's the case, God bless you, man.
It was like I said, there's so many different stories that I wasn't expecting to actually see that one pop up, and yet it did. So I don't really understand, but either way, I enjoyed the ridiculous amount of twists and turns that just kept popping up, and I don't know. It was still good. It was still good, but I'm almost wondering if is there something missing for me when it comes to Korean movies? I know I've only gotten to two of them, so maybe it might be too early to fucking call. I don't know. But between The Handmaiden and Parasite, there are people who love those movies way more than I do. I'm like, yeah, those are good movies. But for some reason, they just haven't really clicked with me properly.
I think Old Boy is going to be the true test of that. We'll see. We'll see
Yeah,
when you watch
probably.
Old Boy what you think of, because that's a very different type of movie than The Handmaiden. And if you end up liking that too, then I think you'll be. Or sorry, if you end up not liking it, or not, okay,
If
not
I
liking
end
the
up
wrong word,
cooler on it than everyone else does.
cooler on it, then yeah, maybe just that Korean cinema in general isn't for you, because I think both Parasite and this movie are 9 out of 10s for me. So I love them both quite a bit.
Hmm. I think that's the thing. I feel like it's where I split off again, where it's like, yeah, this is done at such a high level. I don't know if this is clicking with me, but yeah, The Handmaiden absolutely worth watching. I'm honestly kind of disappointed that here's the thing with the things that they were laying on with like from the books to happen. I feel with the amount of times that they brought up the octopus, I was like, why don't you just bring up the octopus? Like you've set the ground floor for the octopus to do something, and all we do is just see it sitting there. But you mentioned the bells in one story, and suddenly the bells gets the attention. I was like, if you're gonna pay something off, probably do the squid instead.
Yeah, that's a good point. Actually, it's weird that they don't really give you a payoff on that, do they?
So it's like, well, why the bells? The bells got mentioned in one story. I don't know, but either way, the guy's paying to listen to porn. That was definitely
That's something. That's
yeah,
something.
that's not what I expected. I would have kind of thought that maybe strip clubs would have existed, but here they are.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you got too much money. You gotta spend it somewhere, right?
I'm going to listen to That's the thing. You could probably buy a prostitute if you're rich. Like you can do that.
Yeah, but that's I don't know. There's maybe they didn't have like really nice high class ones back then. I don't fucking know.
Either way, it's just funny seeing all these old
Oh yeah,
men with their
for sure.
oh, did you hear her read that word? Oh.
Yeah, it's
Um
strange.
Also, a shout out to this movie for having different colored subtitles for both Japanese and Korean and allowing me to
Yes.
turn off the subtitles from actual Amazon Prime. So, good stuff.
Yes, same. I appreciated
All right. The Handmaiden is Am I Accidentally Racist out of 10?
that. Yeah, 9 out of 10. Great stuff. Can't recommend it enough. I gotta watch more of his films. I'm definitely a fan of that director. So 2 now.
All right. Back to you.
Let's talk about X. So this is the latest slasher film from A24. A lot of hype, a lot of buzz for this one from director Ty West, who I've never actually seen any of his other movies. Probably end up checking a couple more out now, but most of them seem pretty shit, I guess. But I mean, I'll check a couple. There was a couple Clownboy Mac recommended to me, so I'll probably check them out at some point. X is interesting though. It's a very unique slasher, and that alone I feel gives it some credit because slasher is such a genre that's done to death. Like, what else is there to explore in that genre? There's really not a lot, I feel. But this one manages to feel pretty unique in some of its themes and what it's discussing. And a lot of that is spoiler stuff, so I'm not going to get into that. But it was good. I really enjoyed the movie. Like I said, I did think, like, I watched Fresh a couple days before, and I do think Fresh was the better movie. But
Mm.
this was still good. This was still very enjoyable for me. Old naked people is always going to be terrifying to me. So
Always,
that's
yeah.
just that's just going to be a thing that scares me, and it is effective and very cool. There's this really good sense of style to this movie. Like people have said, this is like Texas Chainsaw Massacre meets Boogie Nights, and they're not far off. Like it's just a very cool.
What?
Yeah, yeah, they're not far off. But I should say Boogie Nights in terms of aesthetic, very much aesthetic, so not themes or anything like that. And yeah, it's cool. They've already filmed a prequel for it, which I think is wild. Like A24 was just like, yeah, we like this so much, we'll just go ahead and greenlight your prequel and let you film that as well. And it actually appears as a trailer at the end of the movie for certain people. Didn't in Canada apparently, so I had to watch it online later.
Mm.
And it's interesting though, the trailer for the prequel almost looked better. Like it's very unique and shot in like the 1900s. I was like, oh shit, that actually looks really cool. So definitely gonna check that out at some point. But X as it is, definitely worthwhile watch if you're a fan of slasher or horror movies. I didn't love it, but it was really good.
I'm looking at this and I see it's in theaters, and it's like, yeah, no idea when the hell I'm getting to this. I'm sorry, X. You're probably better than whatever I'm saying right now out of 10.
It's a 7 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Now, I
Oh
had
boy,
my
let's
trilogy of
go.
foreign sexually charged dramas, and Portrait of a Lady on Fire felt like the place to end that. I did want to go for a fourth one, but I couldn't find anything, so then I just ended up watching Man on Fire instead to keep it thematically somehow, right? So, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Movie is very good. It is gorgeously shot. It is incredibly subtle. The two actresses, they're fucking great. They're honestly incredible. Everything about them is just this energy between them that just can't. It's always under the surface, and it just bubbles out every once in a while. And when it does, you're just so glad about it. I don't know. Like out of the three movies that I watched, I think they just got worse. Y Tu Mama Tambien is still my favorite out of the three. The Handmaiden and then Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I know. Look at the ranking that you thought you were going to hear at the beginning of the episode. I finally delivered on it. Obviously, what everyone was waiting on. But yeah, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. I think I appreciate it way more than I actually like it. I still like it a lot, but like that's what I mean. The appreciation is way more higher than how much I actually like it. You did want to talk about this one, so shall we just go into spoilers? Shall we just say that you were very positive on it and you were waiting for me to finally do this?
Yeah, I love this movie. It's one of my favorite movies, top 5 of 2019, which, if you don't film at all, 2019 is a stacked fucking year.
Mm.
I can't recommend this movie enough. Definitely more positive on it than Ed is. And yeah, go watch it.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1. It's probably not a spoiler, but honestly, it kind of was for me up until I remembered that this movie existed, which was that it was a gay movie. I didn't. That's the thing. Even when I saw the trailers, I kind of, for some reason, it's incredible that women can just have like ridiculous intimacy with another women, and like I still give them enough rope of like, they're probably straight. They're just like really good friends or something. So, so even when I remember watching these trailers, whenever whatever the movies I was watching around that time, whenever I saw the trailer pop out, I'd be like, oh, they were just friends. So, no, they're not friends. They're lovers, and I just want to jump to the ending. The ending is fucking phenomenal. Just a shot of her slowly crying and hearing
Oh,
all the music,
it's
and
so
you just
good.
see the entire relationship that they had in the entire movie summed up through just her crying in the music. Uh, Kino as fuck, perfection. Holy shit, incredible. Go on, because I'm pretty sure you've been wanting to hold on and talk about this for a while now.
The ending and the fact that it's a callback too, because they talk about that earlier in the movie,
Yes,
how she really wants to go see that song be played.
yes.
And she finally gets to go, and she goes and she just watches. And yeah, it just I just it was I forgot to breathe during that segment almost. Like it was just so, that ending of the movie is so fucking intense. And you're like, oh my god, is she gonna look? Does she know? Does she know she's there? Like it's just, oh my god, I love that ending to the movie, maybe more than the movie itself. I don't know, that ending does a lot of fucking heavy lifting for me. I love the movie in general, but that ending, like you said, Kino as fuck, and absolutely phenomenal. I cannot tell you how much I love that ending. The rest of the movie is all great too, though. It's like a painting. Like some of the shots in that movie are stunning. I watched it on shitty Crave, so I have the Criterion for it now. I can't wait to do a rewatch of that soonish and just kind of get a better picture of it. But I don't know. There's something that just feels so real about the movie and the relationship that forms between those girls, and in that time frame, obviously something like that wasn't allowed. And you get a little bit of deception in that movie too, where at first, like, she deceives the girl in painting a picture, and it's great because she sees it. She's like, "Yeah, this looks like shit. Like, fuck you." Like, it's a terrible picture, and it fucking breaks her. Like, it hurts her so bad. She destroys the pictures. Like, "No, I'm gonna do this shit again. Like, I'm gonna do this right this time." And basically just paint this picture of this girl she's falling in love with to give her away to some chode in another fucking area. And yeah, man, I don't know. This movie just hit really hard for me. It's that, and like I said, that ending is just, it's breathless, man. Like watching that ending and hearing the music swell, and I remember watching it, finishing the movie, and going back a couple days later and literally just YouTubing the ending and watching that ending again, and it's special. It's probably one of my favorite endings to a movie ever. I adore it.
That ending is one of those moments that your eyes just kind of tunnel vision, even just the corners of the TV, and all it is just seeing her and listening to the music. Like, it is an incredible ending, and you are right about the cinematography. Like, God, they really took to heart the fact that this movie is about a painter and decided to take that with some of the shots in this movie. And God bless the fact that it was still a Blu-ray, but at least it was a 4K transfer that Criterion did to put on the Blu-ray. And god damn, like this movie is gorgeous to look at. And ugh, just these two characters. It always seems. The funny thing is that this actually kind of reminded me a little bit of In the Mood for Love, another Criterion love movie, and how it just seemed like both of these movies decided to take to heart the idea that it's never about the things that are said, it's about the things that aren't said and the spaces that's put in between the two characters with whatever they want to say. And that just feels like it's a good recipe for any love story, honestly. So yeah, Portrait of a Lady on Fire. Movie's really fucking good. I don't really know what it is from stopping me from liking it even more. I don't know. It just feels like I feel like I appreciate it more than anything else, and sadly, that just feels like the pattern.
That's fair. I mean, I can't dispute that. Yeah, you still appreciate the movie and still understand that it's well made. So it's about all you can do. Like I said, it's one of my favorites of 2019. It's a 9 out of 10, a very, very hard 9 out of 10. Or sorry, like it could flex, is what I'm saying. Like I need to watch that again, and it could be a 10 out of 10. But it's a great movie, and I loved it. So shout out to Mac for that one, because that was annoying clown boy again who pestered me into watching that one, but I'm glad I
I'm not going to give him any credit. Like I won't. I won't.
did.
It's fine. It's fine. He sent me Halloween in 4K, and I assume that I'll probably just drop this in the box for him. So I think he said he doesn't have it. So maybe he hasn't bought it yet. I don't know. But either way, the Handmaiden is going to no, sorry, Handmaiden. Portrait of a Lady on Fire is going to be that shot of one of the characters. I don't remember their names because they're French. The brunette running towards the blonde on the beach, running and then grabbing her and then just crying while she's hugging her from behind. Out of 10.
Great shot. Yeah, already give my rating 9 out of 10. Just amazing stuff.
Okay, next up, I've got 2 left. I assume you've got 2 left as well.
Correct.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do 2001, A Space Odyssey,
Oh,
or
you did watch that.
or How We Determined Addi is a Moron. Yeah, no, I am stupid. So look, I watched this movie a long time ago. I don't remember exactly how long ago. And I remember not liking it, thinking it was well made, but it was just kind of boring, kind of dull. Not a lot happens, and it's all just kind of random shit put together. And yeah, I'm pretty stupid. Look, so the first 20 minutes of this movie are my biggest issue, and I still feel like I think I might have just checked out the first time I watched after those first 20 minutes. And I'm gonna be honest, it almost happened again. Like, I just don't like the opening to this movie. I understand what it represents. I get it. I totally understand that. But I just don't like it. It's so slow to me, and it takes its time to set things up. But as soon as you're finally done with the chimps and we're done with Planet of the Apes, the movie just evolves into something totally different. And maybe I just wasn't old enough to appreciate it at that point in time, but it's really amazing stuff. The themes it represents, just basically kind of finding your maker and what that would be like. The gorgeous cinematography in this, just the shots of space. I really want to get a 4K of this movie now. The problem is there's some really nice steelies too, so I'm kind of trying to hold off to see if I can find a deal on one of those eventually. Hopefully I will. And yeah, this is just such a space epic. Like, it's hard to think that I actually didn't like this, because it's so up my alley, man. Like sci-fi stuff like this that's just pure sci-fi. It gave me so much. It gave me Interstellar vibes at times, and just other sci-fi shit.
Fuck you. It's the other goddamn way around. Ugh.
Oh no, and it is. No, it is. Like, Interstellar obviously stole from this for sure, 100%. Everything.
Actually, you know what, fuck it. I'm just gonna go straight to my score. I know you can keep talking. I just wanted to get my score out of the way because you already brought it up, which is even Nolan bent the knee. Out of 10. Continue.
Yeah, no, this movie influenced so much shit.
Everything.
Clearly. Like everything, and you got to give it its due and its respect for that. So yeah, I was wrong. This movie's really, really great, really special, and something that, like, I'll tell that to anyone else who listens to this or whatever, that if you watch this the first time like me and you weren't super hot on it, definitely give this a second shot, because I think with a little bit more maturity, and again, you just kind of gotta, for me anyways, I had to slug through those first 20 minutes and just kind of keep myself engaged in it. But once I did that, I mean, just an amazing movie.
Now, I feel like this is another movie that I watched way too early, so this was one that I will watch again at some point. Who the fuck knows? Because I know I want to hold on for this for 4K. I think I gifted my no, I know I gifted my best friend a trilogy of Kubrick movies in 4K. I don't think 2001 is on there, but the good thing is that if and whenever he watches those, that gives me a good excuse to watch 2001 again. And hopefully, if he likes those movies, maybe he buys them instead of I do. We got to offload some of these costs one way or another, right? So I'm kind of hoping that's when I watch it again. But this one definitely feels like a movie that I watched too early, and I was like, yeah, I could see why people like this. I don't think I get it. But that was so many years ago, and I've got way more movies underneath my belt that I feel like it is time to go back and for even myself to reevaluate if it's something I like or if it's just still something that I feel like I can bend the knee towards, even if I don't like it as much. So yeah, I already gave my score. You already gave your score, or no?
It's a 9 out of 10 for me, and really the only thing preventing it from a 10 out of 10 is just that opening, because I still don't like it. But other than that, I think the movie's pretty much a masterpiece. It's amazing.
Perfect. Okay. So from here, my next movie is Man on Fire. Now, this movie is actually probably in the same category as the Ito Mama Tambien, but I don't think so. I don't know when was the first time that I watched this movie. I don't know if we rented it at some point. I don't think so. It may have just been a movie that was on HBO or Cinemax. Now that's the thing. I remember that early on in like 2000s when we first got Dish Network, we did have HBO and we did have Cinemax because that's what they always do. It's like, hey, here's free 6 months, and then when you're not looking, we'll actually start charging you for it. So during those 6 months, or probably however long we had it there. And Man on Fire just played really often there. My timelines might not be right because I think Man on Fire came out in 2004, but whatever. You understand what I mean. So Man on Fire is, I think, maybe the beginning of the Denzel Washington revenge flick. I mean, I think so. Hold on. I should have probably checked this before recording. Remember the Titans Training Day, John Q? Would we count John Q as a revenge flick? I don't think so, right?
I've never seen that one.
Okay, okay, so I'll describe it to you really quickly. John Q is about a father who doesn't really have money, and what he does is he holds up a hospital to get his son a new heart. Actually, you know
Okay.
what? Now that I say that out loud, nah, that what
Yeah.
is he revenging against? The fucking the medical the big pharma? Like, okay, never
Yeah, no
mind. There,
kidding.
I kind of shot myself in the foot there describing it. Antoine Fisher biographical drama film, so no. Out of time. Mystery thriller film, so that's gonna be a no. I'm gonna say no on that one. Okay, yeah, you know what, I'm ready to say that Man on Fire is the beginning of the Denzel Washington revenge flick that people would like to pigeonhole him in later. Man on Fire is very, very good. So with this movie, the first okay, well, let me just give the plot because I feel like the plot of the movie is the plot of the movie. I don't That's not spoilers. So the plot of the movie is that basically Denzel Washington is a former mm, special forces, some kind. It doesn't really matter what kind, right? Basically, he is hired by a very wealthy Mexican man and his wife to take care of their daughter because the kidnappings in Mexico are going insane. And basically, anyone who is rich and has a kid has a bodyguard for that kid. And the kid in this movie is Dakota Fanning. Yeah, Dakota Fanning. I almost said Dakota Washington. I was like, that doesn't sound right. Dakota Fanning. And the first part of the movie before she gets kidnapped, because, like, okay, look, that's not a spoiler. It's literally the plot of the movie that she gets kidnapped, okay? It's a revenge flick. What do you expect? So, in the first act of the movie, when she's around, it's actually kind of impressive that I cared. I didn't think I was going to care, but Dakota Fanning in this movie is actually really fucking good. Like, she's like 7 or 8, and this girl is acting her ass off. She's not doing anything crazy, but it's something that, like, even a kid to be endearing is still hard work to do. But you can definitely tell in the script that they gave her lines that any adult could read and it would work. But the thing is that girls, let's just say it straight up, okay? Girls are better than boys when it comes to them being young. Girls are just way sharper, boys are stupider for way longer, and it isn't until puberty that both of them get dumb, and then you just kind of hope that on the other side of puberty both of them turn out better. But yeah, like, little girls are so much smarter than little boys. Like, that's just a fact. So even though she's saying things that you would hear from an adult, it all still kind of works. So that's at least a positive thing. What I wasn't expecting out of all of that is that they handle her so well that by the time she gets kidnapped, the movie kind of convinces you, along with Denzel Washington, yeah, let's fucking do this. And honestly, you can just have revenge flicks. Let's go in, let's murder people. Okay, whatever, right? But the fact that this movie kind of takes its time to convince you, no, 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 this little girl is worth revenging. That it kind of made me happy about it. Also, Denzel Washington, fucking phenomenal actor. There's nothing that you need to say there. The man has already earned his stripes that if he's in a movie, it's going to be more shocking and more notable if he sucks than the other way around. But the other thing I do want to mention is that Man on Fire was directed by Tony Scott. And what I had said at some point to you, Dorian, is that uh, Tony Scott feels like Michael Bay probably saw Tony Scott and it's like, I will pick up where you left off, right? And both of them have kind of that indulgent, like, let's show off the cool action scene. And while I think Michael Bay once tried to be sincere in Pearl Harbor and it fucking failed spectacularly, I think Tony Scott tried to be sincere here and he actually was able to pull it off because between Dakota Fanning and Denzel Washington, I think the two of them have fucking phenomenal chemistry. Like you can truly tell that these two people do care about each other. Denzel Washington, even though he is the person who was hired to take care of her, at some point he definitely gets an emotional investment in this girl that he's like, even though I'm being paid to protect her, you could probably stop paying me and I would still want to protect her regardless. And I really was surprised that this movie worked as well as it did. The editing is kitschy though sometimes. Like this the editing for this movie sometimes gets ridiculous and the after effects that they put in, crazy camera shakes and how it zooms in multiple times. I'm like, okay, look, that's a lot. But what I am impressed with more than anything else is that the ending of this movie definitely started getting tears out of me. And I don't even know where they were coming from. And the funny thing is that even though the editing was still there at the end, I think what it is that I cared about the characters and I had enough investment in the plot itself. And let's just talk about the sonal landscape for this movie. The movie sounds great. It's actually funny because this movie came out like this is one of the early movies that came out on Blu-ray. And I don't know if Blu-ray was 2005, 2006. I don't know. Maybe Fox went back to it and put it out. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, no. Fox owned this movie, which means that Disney owns this movie, which means that I'm never going to see a 4K cut of this, whatever. Okay, either way, Man on Fire on Blu-ray is actually really good. The sound effects on it were actually being sent to my ceiling speaker. God bless it, right? But anyways, Man on Fire, the sound is actually really good in this movie, but not beyond that. The music to the movie is actually still really good as well. And I think the ending has like three different songs, and all three of them just hit after hit on the emotional like registry. And by the time I got to the end of that movie, I was like, man, that was really fucking good. I don't really know how good the movie itself is. I just know that it convinced me very well that I like this movie enough to put it in my collection. My shelf has finally filled up, so I did pull Game Night out of the shelf for this one. But yeah, Man on Fire, I had an absolutely great time. I love this movie now, and I'm happy to have a copy of it. Dorian, any thoughts about Man on Fire?
Fortunately, not as much as I'd like, just because I actually haven't seen it. But it is on my watch list now. I do love me some Denzel Washington. He was very good in Tragedy of Macbeth, which was this year. And yeah, there's. I feel like I kind of like revenge flicks, like stuff like that. It's just such a simple baseline concept for a movie. So I feel like this is something I'll definitely enjoy. When I'll get to it, I don't know. I don't think it's streaming anywhere in Canada right now, so that kind of just lowers it down the totem pole a little bit. But I'll keep my eyes on it for sure, and hopefully I can check it out sooner rather than later. It looks interesting from what I've seen, and I kind of like those early 2000s or late 90s action flicks like that. So we'll see.
Uh, this one is post 9/11, so it does feel like it's slightly grittier, but like at the end of the day, it still feels like it carries enough of the lightness of the 90s to some degree. Either way, like I am just so impressed at this movie that probably most people were like, "Oh yeah, that movie exists." Impressed me as much as it did.
Yeah, that's awesome. No, I think Tony Scott too. I think I've seen some of it. Like, what has he done? I feel like
Top Gun is the main one.
Top Gun. See, I've never seen Top Gun, so that's also on my list. So that's definitely a director I'm gonna have to explore more of.
All right, now I'm curious. I'm gonna look at what else he's done because like that's really all I have as a touchstone for him. So He's directed Top Gun, True Romance. He directed True Romance. Okay.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he did do True Romance. I always forget because I think of it as Tarantino because he wrote it and did everything. But yeah, no, that's right.
Okay, and Man on Fire, Deja Vu, The Taking of Felon 123, the remake, Enemy of the State. Oh, holy shit, Enemy of the State. Okay, Henry Gregson Williams did the music for this movie, and do you remember what he did as well?
No, what?
Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and 4.
Oh shit.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right,
Okay. Interesting.
sick.
Interesting. I did not. Yeah.
No, because
I
I think it was specifically Enemy of the State that Kojima saw, and he's like, I
must
want
have.
that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause that's definitely a Kojima thing to do.
But yeah, wait, he did Days of Thunder as well. Fuck, I've been wanting to watch Days of Thunder. Okay, you know what? You know what? Tony Scott, I feel like even though Top Gun is the main one on his resume, I should probably give his other Denzel Washington revenge flick a chance. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a revenge flick, but it just kind of looks like it. Called Deja Vu. It also stars Denzel Washington, and I think it came out the year after. So yeah, you know what? Tony Scott, I should give you more of a shot. You know?
Yeah, I feel that way too. I'll have to because I really, really love True Romance, which is going to get a rewatch soon because they just released a 4K Steely of that. So
Mhm.
that'll be coming up soon, and I love that movie. So definitely want to dig into some of it more. Even though True Romance is kind of Tarantino in a way, in a lot of
Mhm.
ways, but yeah.
Go ahead, go for your score because I want to end it with my score.
Oh yeah, I will watch it at some point out of 10.
Mm,
Looks good.
mm. I'm drinking water because this is going to probably be the worst score ever, but I feel like this movie deserves it. Una palabra no dice nada. Out of 10.
Very, very
That's
beautiful.
that song at the end is like, fuck.
Not good, eh?
Ah. Ugh! Ugh! Okay, moving on.
Positive,
Back to you.
positive review. So my final movie on my list is Licorice Pizza. The Paul Thomas.
Finally,
He finally got to watch it. I've been wanting to watch this one for a while. It finally came for rental on Cineplex, so I rented it and I watched it. And yeah, it was really great. There's just a lot to like about this movie. It's your typical kind of slice of life movie with some great acting. The girl Alma Heine, fuck, I forget her name now. Something or
Haim,
other.
something Haim.
Haim, yeah, she's a singer. She was surprisingly good in this, like really good considering all she's been done is like singing stuff. I don't think she's ever done an actual role. Philip Seymour Hoffman's kid. I mean, this is a pretty simple role, but he nailed it. He did a great job. Kid's got chops for sure. So hopefully
Alana
he does
Haim.
more. Yeah, for sure. Hopefully there's more of him in the future. And yeah, this was, I mean, it's basically what I was expecting. Is it top tier Paul Thomas Anderson for me? No, no, it's not. It's top five though. Like I think I slotted this at number five, right ahead of The Master, and I stand by that. I think this is a great movie. I do have one minor quabble with it, and I was kind of getting into it with the Discord about this yesterday, but I really don't understand the hype for Bradley Cooper in this movie or Bradley Cooper in general. I still haven't seen anything that I've loved him in. I mean, he was good in Nightmare Alley, but I kept thinking Leo would do better, and I honestly still believe that. And now this, he's in the movie for 10 minutes. And I mean, yeah, it's a good scene. It's a very well acted scene. There was some good tension in that scene, and he's fine in it. But I mean, the fact that people actually were talking about him for maybe a Best Supporting Actor nomination, I that's mental to me. I'm sorry, it's absolutely fucking mental. But
Okay,
maybe
let's
I,
see if I'm going to be mental or not. Let's see who else is on this list.
but maybe I have a mental block with Bradley Cooper. I just don't like him. I guess I just don't love him. I mean, the only thing I really like him in is 10 Cloverfield Lane in the season, a 5-second cameo on a voice call.
Wait, does he
So
not get nominated, or are people just saying that they would have wanted him nominated?
people are saying that they would have wanted him nominated.
Oh yes, I would have wanted to.
Yeah, see, I think that's insane. I think that's
He,
absolutely
the
insane.
energy he brings to that movie is so fucking chaotic
For
that
10
this man
minutes?
West. Yeah, and you want to know who's the person with the least amount of screen time that won a Best Supporting Actor? Do
Oh,
we
I'm sure.
remember? Do we need to say it out loud?
Sir, say it out loud.
Okay, how about fucking Hannibal Lecter for The Silence of the Lambs? Okay, literally like 10 or 12 minutes. And you know what? The good thing
Yeah.
is that
Okay.
I think Bradley Cooper more than anything else. Whenever I think of Licorice Pizza, I think of him aggroing. Okay, so even though there's just a whole bunch of nice hangout shit, Bradley Cooper, with the small amount of time that he's in this movie, if he leaves that much of an impression, yeah, sure, why not? Like, I'm looking at the other nominations, like, who? Okay, yeah, J.K. Simmons. You know what? I didn't watch your movie. I like you. Fuck it, give it to you just because I like you, anyways. But let me see. Obviously, the kid from Power of the Dog. Get the fuck out of here. No, I don't want to give anything to Power of the Dog. Supporting actors. I should have not closed the tab. Troy Couture. I have no idea who that is. J.K. Simmons. Sure, I like you. Jesse Plemons. Cody Smith. McPhee. Kieran Hines. Yeah, you know what? Probably doesn't help that I didn't watch those movies, but also at the same time, no, just give it to Bradley Cooper. Just whatever. I don't even feel like talking about this because I already feel like I'm out of my depth talking about movies I haven't seen. Continue.
I,
What we
I'm gonna be completely honest, and you know I don't like Power of the Dog.
hmm,
You know I don't like that
I
movie.
swear to God. I swear
But
to God.
I
Don't
I
you
I would
don't.
give this best supporting actor to either of those over Bradley Cooper for that
Fuck
role.
you.
I
Fuck
I,
you.
I
No.
honestly would. Now
No.
you brought up Hannibal Lecter. I feel like it's a completely different situation.
No, but I'm
Hannibal
saying
Lecter,
like the
no,
time.
I
If you're
get
gonna
it.
use time as an argument.
I get it. But he's central to that plot. He is that plot. Like he's so central to that fucking movie. Bradley Cooper, you could have cut that scene out and nothing would have changed
It
for
would
me.
be
I'm not gonna
worse.
lie.
It
Nothing.
would be worse.
I don't think so.
You are telling me you don't like his chaotic energy?
It's fine. It's fine. It's good. It's a good scene.
It's
But
fine.
if you take that scene out of the movie, nothing changes for me.
Honestly, cut Sean Penn. Cut Sean Penn. I
Sure, you
don't.
could. Yeah, you could. I'm not saying Sean Penn was any better.
No, I'm saying that if you want to cut anyone who is not
Well,
central to the plot, I mean, like that's the thing.
I'm not saying
It's a
you
hangout
need to
movie.
cut either of them. I'm not trying to say that. I'm just saying you could theoretically cut that scene out of the movie, and the movie would still be great, and nothing would change for me. If you cut
Are you
Hannibal
telling me the
Lecter
movie
out of
wouldn't be worse?
Silence of the Lambs is ruined. That movie's
Are you
done.
telling me that would Licorice Pizza be a worse movie without Bradley Cooper?
Worse, no.
Wow, that's where we disagree. That's okay. You know what? This is going to be an impasse. Okay, we're gonna have to move on from
Yeah,
this. But
I think I think we're gonna impasse that one. I agree.
yeah, if
So
we don't agree on that, like, there's nothing we can do.
yeah. So, anyways, yeah, great movie. Otherwise, I don't think he's bad in the movie. I think he's fine. I just think it's incredibly overblown his importance to the movie. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. 8 out of 10. Love the movie. Sorry, did you have more you want to say? We just
No,
kind of like
I
two.
meant I fucking hate you. I don't
Okay,
importance.
perfect. We're good.
Importance. I'm gonna cope. Mayhaps even have a little seethe after.
All right,
Um.
all right. Why don't you move on to some kung fu Japanese game
Oh yeah. Okay. So,
with Ghost?
Licorice Pizza, fucking great. Give Bradley Cooper the Best Supporting Actors award, even though he's not nominated out of 10. Ghostwire Tokyo. So it was late last night. I was looking, and I was like, yeah, it's 11. Still not ready to go to sleep. And then I just started looking around. I was like, fuck it. Ghostwire Tokyo's there. I feel like I might want to sell this. I picked it up and I was like, I don't even think I'm going to like this game that much. It might just be the aesthetic that carries me. Whatever. Right? I'll buy it. And if I like the steelbook, sick. Well, the aesthetic is a lot to carry me through this game. I'm actually really enjoying Ghostwire Tokyo. I was about to say Ghost of Tsushima, but honestly, I feel like the
Ghosts
two of
of
them,
Wires of Tokyo.
Ghost of Wires of the Tokyos, right? The funny thing is that I think both of them actually might have the same thing, which is that they just have a very nice aesthetic to carry me through something that bare bones might be something that I don't care about. I actually really like Ghostwire Tokyo. Is it basically what I said, where the magic would just replace guns? Yes, but the animations are so sick whenever you're in first person that I don't really care that it's just a difference in animations. Like, it feels different enough. Like, I like being able to shoot wind at them. I love that you can actually parry their attacks. Like, I didn't realize that the shield attack would parry them and then it weakens them. And then if you shoot them again, it sends them with knockback damage. I was like, that's actually pretty fun. Um, you can talk to dogs and cats and you can hear their thoughts and you can pet them. There's a magical little cat. There's a linear section that the game opens with that I was actually really digging. That for some reason, like even though I haven't, like I think maybe I left Fear halfway done, it actually reminded me a little bit of Fear being in this little dingy building with weird looking enemies. I was like, I'm actually really digging this. But then there are other times where the game was, visually, I think just visually, I don't think anything in the design is reminding me, but there was some moments where it was kind of evoking the feeling that I had when I was playing Deus Ex, being in this small little hub town that feels very dense. It feels like it's just way, it's very surface level, those reminders. Trust me, I don't want anyone thinking that Ghostwire Tokyo is anything like Deus Ex. It's not. But like it feels a lot like the ability to be in first person in very dense streets was reminding me of stuff that I already liked in Deus Ex. So that is working very well for me. Um, Honestly, I do love that this game has allowed me to turn off the mini map and a whole bunch of the icons. Like basically all I have is the old style Elden Ring, Elder Scrolls compass at the top with notifications on it, right? And I can just wander around like that. I have my health and ammo at the bottom right, and you can even turn off the top left thing of like, this is your next mission to do. It's like, I don't fucking tell me that. So I've been able to pare this down a lot to remove the kind of Ubisoft open world feeling to it. And I've actually, okay, to be fair, I played 2 hours of it, so I may sound like I'm talking about it way more deeper in. No, it's like 2 hours. But I have been able to tailor the game and turn off things to where I'm just exploring the game way more naturally. I will just go around. Oh, look, it's a blue light over there. I look at the blue light. Oh, it's spirits. I'm going to grab the spirits. I'm going to go to a phone booth and deposit them so I can get some money out of it. Oh, I can hear in the sound design that there is something squawking above me. Oh, I can use my magic Doctor Strange rope to teleport myself up above the roofs. Also, there is a hover mechanic when you jump off of a roof where if you hold X, it'll float you off. So you can use that to get to other buildings. And I didn't know this game was going to have verticality like that. So it's actually been letting me explore a lot more than I expected. And Ghostwire Tokyo is working for me more than I expected because it's a lot of stuff where it's like, this might be like very bare bones, probably still the Ubisoft formula, but 2 hours in, it's like you are doing enough unique things that might be enough to hide it. And like I said before, that Ghost of Tsushima is an Ubisoft game, but it has enough uniqueness and a very satisfying combat along with a narrative and some great music to make me just go, yeah, I still want to do this anyways. Ghostwire Tokyo feels like it might be in that camp of, yeah, you probably had the framework, but there is so much creativity that is here that it makes me happy to keep playing. I probably will keep playing. I will. I don't know. Part of me just still feels like I want to take a break from gaming because Elden Ring took a lot out of me, right? That was like 100 hours in like what 20 days. Like I put a lot of time into fucking Elden Ring. But Ghostwire Tokyo, I think it's only like 10 to 15 hours, under 20. If this game can be under 20 hours, I don't think the Ubisoft bones are going to show up to annoy me. So if this game is as short as I think it is, then this is going to be good. So, Dorian, tell me, is there anything about Ghostwire Tokyo speaking to you? Where do you stand on this one, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, I definitely need to check this out at some point. The more videos I watched on it, it seemed like kind of the less interested I was. But that being said, there's something about the aesthetic. I have always liked Tango Gameworks. Kind of a little bit salty that it's not more of a horror game. Like from what you've seen in those 2 hours, is it scary?
No, it really doesn't.
Yeah.
It feels like it wears the aesthetic of horror, but then it never goes through with it, which honestly I'm okay with. I would have actually been happy either way. If they had gone full horror with it, cool, but it just seems like it wants to wear the horror as like just aesthetic more than anything else.
That's fair. And I mean, I can't judge them. Like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. I always like them as a horror studio, though, because there's not a lot of, obviously, horror studios out there making, nearly AAA quality level horror games. So that's kind of a disappointment in that regard. But All that being said, it definitely seems to have a vibe to it and unique. That steelbook is really nice too, but unfortunately we didn't get it in Canada. That probably would have propelled me to get it just for that. But
Dude, that
seems
steelbook is what propelled me to
it's
get it. Like,
oh yeah,
it's like
it's hot.
I saw on Mercari that a whole bunch of the steelbooks selling solo for $40, and I was like, "Oh, yeah." A large part of me thought that I was going to get this game way after the fact because I was thinking, "Ooh, this game is probably gonna go the Deathloop way. It's probably not gonna sell well, and then I'll be able to pick up a steelbook for $20 in the first day, and then I'll be okay with that." But then I started realizing that people were selling the steelbooks for way more. I was like, well, it might end up being better if I buy it day one to get the steelbook there. And I was like, oh shit. Okay, fine. At least if the game is good, at least I'll be happy. And it seems like so far, yeah, I don't have any reason to worry unless the game is like 40 or 50 hours long. Then I'm gonna get really annoyed.
Yeah, I've actually heard it's pretty short, so I don't think you've got that problem.
Oh,
Um,
please. I hope so.
yeah, no, it's definitely on my list to check out one day. I'll probably when it goes on a sale or something like that, I'll probably end up nabbing it. I mean, look how quickly Deathloop, how cheap it got, how quick it got.
Hmm.
So I imagine Ghostwire Tokyo, if it goes cheap like end of this year for like holidays and stuff like that, I'll probably end up picking it up if I'm in more of a gaming mood and giving it a shot at some point.
But yeah, I am so far pleasantly surprised with it. I really hope this game isn't fucking long because it's really just gonna. I could see this grating on me, but so far I have been able to tailor the game in a way where it just lets me go do what I want. So yeah, big fan of this game so far. We'll see if I'm tired of it within the next, let's say, 5 episodes, because who the fuck knows if I'm actually going to power through this like I am or not. So uh,
Yeah, it'd be tough to grab you like Elden Ring.
yeah, no, seriously, honestly, after Elden Ring, like anything that would come after would be fucking towering. Good luck, right?
Yeah.
But here we are. So thankfully, Ghostwire feels like so much like we're being really unique, and we kind of understand that the game itself isn't going to be, anything that different. So we're going to do everything that we can as much to make it worthwhile. So this feels like the right this feels like the right come down from Elden Ring, which makes me sad because I really wanted the next game I played to get smacked the fuck out of the Elden Ring. So then I'm like, oh, games suck again. No reason for me to deal with them. So big shame that Ghostwire didn't suck more. I'm gonna go ahead and give this a Steelbook brain rot out of 10.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous steelbook out of 10, and I hope we'll end up playing it soon.
Under 3 hours. Under 3 hours. Oh my
Yeah,
god, this is great.
with time to spare too. Beautiful,
Well,
beautiful.
okay. I hope I can cut this even shorter. End card.
Hey, look at you. You got to the end of the episode. From episode 0 to the day that I finally get lazy and cancel the show, a big thank you to Joey Rawlings for providing the perfect name for the show. Be sure to always give him thanks, either out loud as you're listening to this, or you can just send him a thank you tweet at boogeyman117 _ That's boogeyman117, IE instead of Y, double O. Be sure that it's an underscore, not a dash, 117.